Yes?
Excuse me,
Oh, just a minute, sir.
Yeah.
Leeds Mercury, good morning. Can I help you? No, I see. I'll have you transferred. This is the night desk. Hello, operator. Put this through to Sobad's, would you? Oh, sorry about that. No, sir. Can I help you?
I just felt I had to tell someone, see? I just felt I had to.
Oh, is anything the matter, sir?
It's murder. And you see, I thought you people would want to know. That's why I've come here.
What are you trying to say? That you want to tell me about a murder? Is that it, sir? Now, look, Mr.
Simmons. Bill Simmons.
All right, Mr. Simmons. I mean, when did it happen? Last night?
What?
Well, this murder, Mr. Simmons, did it happen last night?
Last night? No, how could it? Don't you understand it wasn't last night?
No, Mr. Simmons, I'm afraid I don't understand.
It was 17 years ago. It was 1955, I think. I done her 17 years ago.
17 years, I'll look,
1955, you look it up. Amy, she was called, and I killed her in Birkenhead. With a knife.
17 years back. A new play for radio by Martin Jenkins, with Robert Keegan as Inspector Flynn, Alan Downer as Bill Simmons, and Barbara Mitchell as his wife, Queenie. 17 years back.
Deeds Road Police Station, can I help you?
Sergeant Treverton. This is Inspector Flynn calling from Strickland's in Derbyshire.
Oh, I'll put you through at once, sir. We've been trying to reach you all day. Sergeant Trafford's been expecting you to phone.
Well, now that I have phoned, don't keep him waiting, lad.
Sorry, sir. I'll connect with you immediately. Trafford? It's Inspector Flynn, sir. Right, put him on.
I'm already on, John.
Oh, hello, sir. I hope you're
Look, what do you want, John? I'm busy.
Well, sir, it's a bit difficult. You see, I've been asked to get in touch with you about the Audrey Grantham case.
Well, you've waited long enough.
Well, there were complications.
What, Richards?
Certain objections were raised when it was suggested you should be asked to help with the Grantham business.
You're being unusually diplomatic, John. Is he breathing down your left ear, or are you hoping for a promotion?
Mr. Richards is at a meeting with the chief.
Oh. Well, hadn't you better relay your missive?
You will have read about this man who is...
Yes, John, I have read the papers. Yes, John, I have read about this man. And yes, John, he gave himself up exactly 38 hours ago.
Yeah. I advise that you should be asked to return immediately, but...
But you were overruled, firmly. Yeah.
Well, let's say, sir, the camp was divided.
Well?
Well, it was your case when you were with us. You never wrapped it up. The chief constable would like you to come and help us with the case now that it's been reopened again.
And friend Richards?
Well, I did say the camp was divided, sir.
Yes, John, so you did. So what does the chief propose?
That you should come over to us at once and see if this man's confession is true and if it fits the Grantham case.
John, I've read the papers. I've waited 38 hours for this call. Of course it fits the facts. Now, I'm quite sure that this William Simmons is the man I looked for in the summer of 1955. And furthermore, I was more than prepared to come and give evidence. But to be kept waiting nearly 2 days.
Mr. Richards wants Simmons on a murder rap.
Murder? What, just like that?
It is 17 years ago.
It was a manslaughter if ever I saw one. It was written all over it. Grantham had been asking it for years.
You and I know that, sir. I think the chief also believes it would be wrong to press for a murder charge.
Look, I expected you to phone, John. But as the hours went by and nothing happened, I became more annoyed, and I'd made up my mind that I wouldn't come. I mean, my case, and no one phones me for nearly 2 days. I found that very hard to stomach.
I've been trying to get you since 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, but Simmons walked into that newspaper office at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. It's now 3:21 precisely on a warm and quiet Wednesday afternoon. Even at 10 this morning, but... Oh, never mind.
I'm sorry, sir.
I mean, my pride was there, John. You know, my case, no one called me. And now you say Richards is going for murder?
I understood him to express the belief that after all this time, it would practically be impossible to prove manslaughter.
Oh, August the 14th, 1955. That's not so long ago.
If you are coming, the chief would be delighted if you could catch a train from Derby this afternoon.
Out of the question.
He was.
Yeah, very emphatic. No, I'll have to clear up a few things here first. I'll see you tomorrow about midday, in time for a decent lunch.
Would that be the earliest time?
Look, I have no wish to see Birkenhead again. I'm coming at your invitation, and I shall come in my own time. Is that understood?
Of course. Would you like a car to meet you off the train at Lime Street?
No, John. I would like you to meet me off the ferry at Woodside, and I'll phone you when I arrive at Liverpool. And you can work out what time I'll be at Woodside.
Are you sure you wouldn't prefer a car to meet you?
I prefer not to come at all. But it is a manslaughter and not a murder, and that's why I'm coming. Goodbye, John. I'll phone you from Lime Street.
Over here, sir. John, nice to see you again, sir.
And you?
Good journey.
Well, the train was on time, and the river was smooth, but empty.
Aye. It's very dead some days.
Right, do we walk?
I'm afraid it's the car. Superintendent Richards insisted.
Is Richards in charge?
In overall charge, sir.
How's Mrs. Trafford, John?
Oh, we get along, sir. Much as before.
And Richards didn't want me to come back.
It was your case, sir.
Yeah, along with 1,000 others.
But not many of them were unsolved.
Oh, we solved this one, John. The only thing was, we never discovered the one missing link, the man who killed Audrey Granson.
Aye. Well, here's the car, sir.
Oh, where are we going?
Deeds Road. The superintendent asked me to see that you had everything you required.
Including you?
You raised no objections. And I was on the case with you.
Well, that didn't stop him kicking in the past, did it? No need to answer that. Even the cars are posher now. Where did this Simmons turn up?
He walked into the offices of the Leeds Mercury at 1:04 on Tuesday morning and told the desk clerk that he wanted to confess to a murder.
After 17 years.
That's what the paper must have thought. They contacted Leeds City and then they contacted us.
That didn't stop them altering their morning headlines.
I think I'd have done the same.
Simmons, Christian name William. Any others?
Gwyn. He's Welsh. Born in some unpronounceable place near Cardiff. Age 40, but looks nearly 60. Balding, deep-set eyes, brown. Has a small scar over his left eye. Otherwise very undistinguished physically.
Have you seen him then?
He's got form. Been in a nick 6 times since 1956. His last sentence was 1 year for attempted robbery at Doncaster in 1970. Came out in February.
Any GBH?
Nothing on the files, except a reported assault on a prison officer at Ley Hill, but there appear to have been mitigating circumstances.
And no form before 1956?
A virgin page. Do you think he's our man?
Already told you. Do you?
Certainly fits. The year, the description of the house, but, well, it's Simmons himself.
Yeah?
From all accounts, it seems he's a bit of a nutter.
Yes,
He's been very odd. One of the blokes in Walton Prison was telling me this morning.
Odd?
Yes, muddled, confused. He claims that Audrey was something of a raving beauty. He keeps getting all worked up about being hung.
Hanged.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's
sir, I
essential
forgot.
for a policeman to be grammatically correct about the death sentence, despite the fact that it has been abolished. I mean, it could still come back, you know.
Hanged.
Right, I shall want to see Simmons later this afternoon. A raving beauty.
Still so sure he's your missing link?
John, a man doesn't confess to a 17-year-old murder and get so many basic facts right if he didn't do it. And what we have to find out all over again is why and how. And then try to find out why Audrey has suddenly become a sleeping beauty.
He could still be just a nutter. He could have read about the case, met the man who really did it, anything. I don't think we
John,
can be
we
so
have to
sure.
start from what we know. We also have to gamble. Now, I sense Simmons is my man. We start firmly believing that and go on believing it until we get one fact that says my assumption is definitely wrong. Right? The house stood just there, under that second support pillar.
4 bedrooms. Ma Weston was in the attic. She owned the lease on the place. Charlie Williams had one of the single rooms, but didn't come home that night.
Alibi checked. Can't game after he finished serving behind the bar of the Oriel Arms in Everton. Missed the last bus and decided to stay with a friend.
One double room occupied by Audrey and another by Jenny Hutchins, who discovered Audrey's body at about 7:30 a.m. She come down for a glass of milk, I think. She ran to the people next door, who phoned us, and we arrived shortly after 7:45. Jenny was waiting for us with a milkman who'd come back to the house with her.
Shortly before 7:43 exactly. Oh, give or take a second. Jenny was a very frightened little girl, terrified by finding Audrey, and even more scared because it could easily have happened to her. Do you know where she is, sir? No?
After the inquest and the initial investigations were over, she disappeared, left a forwarding address. False? No. The only one left, as far as I know, is Charlie.
No. Where's he?
Still at the Oriel. He lives in one of the new housing estates near Arrow Park. I can find out quickly enough. He still passes on the odd tip-off, nothing big. A few odds and ends he overhears, makes a few extra quid. Will there be any point in chasing him up? He never saw the man.
Are we sure?
His alibi was watertight.
No question?
He said he left the house just before 5. And we know he reached the pub shortly after 6.
Yeah, but Jenny Hutchins told us that Audrey had gone to the Oriel that night. She said that she often went there for a drink. We checked at the Oriel, and several people remembered Audrey because they'd seen her before, but no one could remember who she was with. Charlie, on the other hand, was very cool and said he had no recollection at all of Audrey coming in that night, although she did sometimes nip in if she was passing.
And no one could positively recall seeing Charlie talk to Audrey. Of course. I'd forgotten all that. You thought that Charlie...
Not only then, but now as well. Look, I still believe that Charlie and Audrey were working a racket. We might prove it this time.
This place was filled with shops. I call it them all. Now there's only cars and more cars.
Right, I want a general call put out for Ma Weston and Jenny Hutchins, and I want you to check that Charlie is still living locally.
Ma Weston must be 100 if she's a day.
I've known her 30 years. She looked like Queen Victoria when I was a fresh-faced lad on the beat. Right, had enough?
Right.
I've got picked up the scent again. I suppose we might as well make use of that office Mr. Richards has so generously provided. Come on.
Hasn't changed much. Give it a coat of paint.
Watkins, tell Superintendent Richards Inspector Flynn has arrived.
Relax, John. Richard won't bite, and I'm no different. Maybe over 2.5 years since I moved to Derbyshire, but I don't need to be treated with kid gloves, you know.
Sorry, sir.
How the hell do you work in a place like this?
You should know you were here for over 20 years.
If we're going to be kept waiting for Mr. Richards much longer, I think I should like a cup of tea.
He did say he wanted to see you immediately.
Punctuality always was one of his strongest points.
Oh, he still is.
Except with me.
Hello, Tommy. They said you'd arrived.
I've been here for a few minutes. Yeah.
Right. Come along into the office. Get your coat and things off. Get some tea, would you, Trafford?
Yes, sir.
Look, if we're going to discuss any aspect of the Gunson case, I should like John to be present. If that's all right.
Plenty of time, Tommy. After all, it's waited 17 years. I don't think another few minutes is going to make all that difference. Now, in here. Sit down. I've had an office put aside for you. Not your old one, I'm afraid. Andrew Madley's in there, but I thought a cup of tea first. Help get the dust.
Julian,
dry out.
am I in charge?
No, not technically.
Never mind, technically. Who is? You?
Officially, I have to be. After it had been decided that you should be asked back to assist on the case, it was then decided that I should be in overall control. But everything will be left to you, of course.
You didn't want me to come?
Frankly, no. I saw absolutely no necessity to bring you back. However, the chief felt differently, and here you are. I'll be frank with you, Tommy. The chief is obviously putting me through some sort of character test to see how I cope with sharing responsibility, particularly sharing it with someone whose methods are, shall we say, unorthodox. He'll be watching me like a hawk.
Well, good luck to you.
You won't rile me, Tommy. You used to, but not this time. Not with him watching, not with promotions in the offing. Anyway, the whole thing seems very straightforward to me.
You want to go for a murder charge?
I think there'll be no difficulty.
In getting a conviction?
Isn't that what you've come for, to get this man convicted?
Have you read my notes on the case?
Yeah.
Then you'll know it was a manslaughter.
Well, after 17 years, I hardly think it matters.
Look, Julian, I'm not going for a straight murder rap. This man killed Audrey Granson because she'd taken money off him. I mean, he lost his head and struck a dozen wild blows with a half-blunt knife. When we got there, the woman was still alive, but unconscious. It was a horrible mess. She had the torn corner of a pound note still clutched in her hand.
Yes, I read all this, but you could never prove anything.
Now, I had no killer, and not one of the witnesses would tell the truth. At first they talked, but after we failed to catch the man, they shut up tight. But it was manslaughter, and that's what I intend to prove now.
I see.
Aren't you interested why a bloke wanders into a newspaper office and confesses to a murder after 17 years?
Of course, but...
I mean, if he wants to get off his conscience, then I want to know why. And I also want to know why he did it in the first place.
I thought you said you already knew.
Oh, I know, yeah, but I've also already said I have to prove it now. This was the biggest case I left unfinished, and I hated that. If it's going to be cleared up, then I want to be the one to do it.
And you are.
My way.
Tommy, I never approved of your methods. I still don't. I know you despise me because I work by the book, but that's how I want things. I didn't want you anywhere near this force, but I was overruled. Now you are here, I want to ensure that what you do in no way upsets what I'm doing here.
Yeah. Does that mean that you don't want me to root out the truth?
Of course it doesn't. If you think this man is guilty of manslaughter, then by all means prove it. It's how you prove it that concerns me. Things are working well here.
I'm old, Julian. Teeth falling out, eyesight going, not a streak of black hair left. I'm like Samson. I've lost my sting. I won't upset your scheme of things. Just let me get on with it, and as soon as I'm satisfied, I'll get back to my backwater.
Where do you intend to begin?
I want to remember everything I can about the case. The house, the people, the kitchen, the knife. What I can before looking at a single note. And then I shall want to see Simmons.
I'll phone the governor at Walton to make the arrangements. I shall come with you.
And then start tracing the witnesses.
Probably all dead or fled the country.
Yeah, maybe. If they have, then I want to know.
The young girl, she was the chief witness?
Little Jenny Hutchins, just over 17. She lied just like the other two in the house.
Charles Williams and the old woman in the attic flat, Mrs. Mabel Weston.
Oh, was that her name? First thing I've forgotten so far. I don't think I ever heard her called Mabel. She was known to everyone as Old Ma Weston, tough as bricks. Been away for running brothels, devout Catholic and ardent Tory. She used to cause no end of trouble at church bazaars and Tory garden parties, hobnobbing with the magistrates who put her away. She must be 100 if she's still alive.
Well, I haven't heard of her recently. Trafford might know.
He doesn't, but he'll find out if she is still with us.
Come.
The tea, sir.
Oh, excellent. Will you be mother, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
When can I see Simmons?
Shall we say Walton at 4?
Excuse me, sir. Leeds phoned a few minutes back, and Mrs. Simmons is on her way over. She'll be here about 7 or 8.
I hardly think it was necessary.
Anything else, John?
Well, the young copper who went to see her as soon as they got onto the address says that she was extremely agitated when he told her that her husband had confessed to her murder. She said, "He's done it then. I knew he would." When the constable explained it happened in 1955, she couldn't believe it. She seemed prepared to accept the fact that he'd just done something. He also adds that she had several bruises on the left side of her face and that her left eye was badly swollen. Someone in the road volunteered the information that Simmons hadn't been home for about 4 or 5 days.
Friendly of him, eh?
Is that all?
Yes, sir.
Observing young man, that. There's hope for the force yet, Julian, with keen-eyed coffers like that. So she thought she'd done someone now, not 17 years ago. Almost prepared for it. And a black eye.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, I want to see Charlie Williams sometime tonight. See how he's reacted to Simmons' confession. If he leaves the Oriole at 11 or so, he should be just in time for a midnight visitor.
Will you require any assistance?
Oh, Charlie's an old friend, Julian. He'll be delighted to see me. Now, give John me a couple of undisturbed hours, and then we can all join forces and go to Walton. That is, if you still feel it essential for you to come.
Ask WPC Chambers to have my car ready for 3:58, Trafford.
Very good, sir.
All right, I want to go over the story that Jenny told us and then have a little recap on Charlie. Make sure I've got all my facts right before our reunion. 2 hours, then, Julian? First, Jenny was quite emphatic. She said that Audrey popped into her room about 12 that night and told her she got a chap staying and not to make too much noise in the morning.
But later she went back on the statement and said she never saw Audrey that night.
On the morning of the 14th, when we first interviewed her, she talked a lot of sense. Then she started to realize how involved she was, and she shut up. It was during the morning that she also said that Audrey had been across to the Oriole Arms that previous evening and had seen Charlie.
You pressed the point and asked her why she should go all the way over to Everton for a drink, and she said because Audrey and Charlie were good friends and that she always drank there.
Well, sometimes drank there, but nearly always when she got a fella staying. Now, that was the point. She took men guests to the Oriole. Why?
So she could let Charlie know she had a sucker in tow.
Yes, but why? I mean, not to give any strange kind of cheap thrill, because I believe Charlie then used to phone Ma Weston, tell her the coast was clear, so she could go down and work over the chap's room to see if there's anything she could steal without him noticing. At least until he was well away from the house and could have difficulty proving anything.
And that's what you think Charlie did on the night of the 13th?
Of course he did. I mean, they've been working again for a couple of years. I expect Ma used to give him some sort of rake-up. A couple of bob extra pocket money. Charlie would have felt uncomfortable with anything more than a quid. In all the years I knew him, he'd never take more than £1.
Did Jenny know what was going on? We decided definitely yes, and that she was in on the racket as well. But on the night on the 13th, she had nobody and went to bed on her own. At 7:30 a.m., she went downstairs to get a drink and found Audrey, as she thought, dead. She guessed what had happened, and at the beginning almost told us the whole setup. But then she changed her mind and started backtracking and lying.
That was when Ma Weston was brought down. There was over 250 quid in pound and 10-shilling notes in her room. Her savings for a rainy day. We couldn't possibly prove that any of those notes had been taken off the men who visited the house.
And nothing would budge the old bird. She denied stealing money, she denied living off immoral earnings, and we could prove nothing against her. It was all circumstantial. Defense counsel, mincemeat.
But we were damn close, John. If Jenny had gone on talking, we would have had them all.
Sergeant Trafford. Oh, yes, put him on. Hello, Potter. Yes. Yes. Good. Yeah, I see. Well, no, keep well away. Right. Yeah. Thank you, Potter. I was right. Charlie is still at the Oriole and lives at flat 1835 Willow Way near Arrow Park. It's a big block of flats.
Anything on Nutchins or Weston?
Not yet. I shouldn't expect anything over for at least a couple of days.
Well, let's hope I'm not dead before it finally seeps through. Now, I want to go over the actual killing. Get the details absolutely cleared again. Now, Audrey's body was slumped up against the table, and some of her red hair had got caught on a splinter in one of the table legs.
Thank you. We'll knock when we're ready to leave. Simmons?
Huh?
I'm Superintendent Richards of Birkenhead Police. And this is Inspector Flynn of Strickland, Derbyshire. He was the officer in charge of the investigation into the death of Audrey Grantham. I want you to answer any questions he or this other officer may wish to ask you.
Did they call you Bill?
Billy, sometimes. It depends. Like at home, it was always Gwyn.
Home being near Cardiff.
Senghenny, where the great pit disaster was.
Coal Town.
Coal and shunting engines. Nothing else much.
Why'd you do it?
I've already said.
Yeah, well, tell me.
She'd been thieving off me. Taking money and things.
So you killed her?
I had to.
And then 17 years later, you walk into a newspaper office and tell them you battered an old whore to death. And why'd you do that?
I don't know.
You sure you did kill her, Billy?
Does Queenie know?
His wife's dead.
No, she knows, Billy. She's on her way here.
Stealing money, see? She was pinching money all the time.
Does Queenie know you killed her?
What?
You been married a long time?
After it happened. Long after it happened.
Yes, but did you tell her what you'd done?
Well, she was thieving.
Yes, but did you tell Queenie?
Tell her what?
Did you at any stage tell your wife you had murdered Audrey Grantham?
What's the matter? Don't you believe me? Don't you think I done her in? Is that what you think, that I didn't do it? There's been blood on these hands, see? You take me out of this place and I can show you the actual house. If you don't believe me, I'll show you.
The house was knocked down 5 years ago.
It's not
There's
her
nothing left
fault.
now.
I've been drinking too much, getting drunk too many nights. You can't blame her stealing
You
off me.
killed Audrey Grantham because you were stealing off
I
you.
told you her name was Amy.
The warden said he's been like this all day.
He's in a bad way, poor sod. At least it proves we were right. Audrey had been pinching his money.
Amy.
Is there any pointing going on?
Amy. Her name was Amy. She told me she'd been good to any number of boys in the Army and the Navy. Amy and Navy Stores, she called her place. I remember her place.
I'm coming! Yes?
Oh, excuse me, but some of the lads say I can get a room here for the night.
On your own, are you?
Yeah?
Well, come a bit more into the light. I can't see your face proper.
Oh,
What are you? A driver off the lorries? Someone recommend me, do they?
how much do you charge?
Depends on what you're thinking of buying.
It'll only be the one night, single room and breakfast.
Come inside. Breakfast is extra.
Just, tell me how much, all inclusive.
25 shillings.
What? Why, you must be joking.
This is a good house. Decent mattresses and clean sheets, not like some of the dumps around here.
I'm not made of money, see?
Bet you've got enough to give a girl a good time, though, haven't you?
Enough.
Oh, look. I wouldn't do this for everyone, but seeing as it's you, make it a quid. But no less, mind you.
Can I see the room?
Right little fusspot, aren't we? All right, come upstairs. Costs a bit, you know, to upkeep a place like this. What with the cleaning and all.
Oh, yeah?
You be going out tonight?
Yeah. Have a look round, like? See what's going on?
Look for a nice little girl?
Maybe.
Wouldn't I do, then?
I thought you said nice.
Yeah, less of your flipping cheek. This is it, then. Hot and cold and horse air. Very comfortable. Stands any amount of horseplay. Go on, feel it.
Very nice.
Cash in advance.
£1, we said.
That's if you just have the bed and breakfast.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that later. Here you are. £1.
Yeah, I thought you said you hadn't much money. You're loaded. Now, Are you going to take me out tonight?
And when we come back here, we'll be together like, eh?
If I feel like it, and if you pay enough.
Now, look here, if I take you out, buy you a meal and stuff, then you'll, well, you know.
Hey, don't you go getting any big ideas. I'm not some cheap whore you can treat like muck, you know. I've got class, and you pay for that. I mean, I run a respectable house here, and I don't let everyone take liberties with me. Not by a long chalk.
Well, it was your idea.
Yeah, well, I liked you, didn't I?
And the colour of my money.
You'll take me out, then.
All right.
Then you get ready. I'll leave you the key so you can lock your door. Everything will be quite safe. I just go and throw my face on. You know something? I'm glad you come tonight. I was feeling like a night out.
Where are we going?
Do you fancy a drink first? Get us warmed up like.
If you like.
A friend of mine has a nice pub over the water. The Oriel Arms in Everton. Right by the ground.
Oh, it's your party. Just so long as we get back in time for a good night.
Oh, you chaps are all the same, right, Randy? I won't be long. 10 minutes, okay? Here, by the way, what's your name? Mine's Audrey.
Bill. You can call me Bill.
10 minutes, Bill. Don't know about you, but I'm dry as flies for a drink. Get me in that pub. By 10 o'clock, I'll be ready for anything.
Amy had a good sense of fun.
Show him the report. See? It's there in black and white. She was called Audrey. Audrey, not Amy. Now, you sure it's the same woman? I don't want to waste my time or the time of these other officers chasing after shadows.
I thought she said her name was Amy.
And did you also think perhaps that you killed her?
No. No, I didn't think that. I did kill her. I'm certain of that. I could show you the exact place. I could find it quite easy.
Mr. Flynn's already explained to you that the house in which Audrey Gransom's body was discovered has been pulled down. There's nothing left of that area at all. It's all been swept away.
And what else do you remember about her?
I think I told these men yesterday.
Well, tell me.
Not much.
What was she wearing?
Don't know.
What about hairstyle?
Eh?
Well, did she have it up? Was she wearing a hat? Did she have blue eyes, pink fingernails? Something. Simmons, you must remember something.
Well, she was a strange girl.
Strange in what way?
Well, she didn't want to scream. There were no screams. No screams. Just a long sigh. I don't think she wanted to be heard.
No screams. Are you sure?
And she was very beautiful. She had beautiful skin.
Doesn't sound like Audrey.
Shut up. In what way was she beautiful, Billy? How was she beautiful?
Drinking too much. I'm sorry. I keep getting this pain. It keeps coming. It'll go soon.
Can you remember how beautiful she was, Billy? Are you remembering?
He's not going to say
Will you shut up?
I keep trying to tell you. I can see her. I can see her.
Show him the photographs.
But you don't need photographs, do you, Billy? You can see her, you say. Tell me about her. You say she's lovely?
My God, they'll hang you, you bastard. You'll swing. You'll swing.
Who'll swing, Billy?
Swing, you bastard.
Leave him alone.
Are you frightened of swinging?
I don't...
The rope, Billy. Are you frightened of the rope?
She was bloody
Will they put the rope round you?
She had blonde hair. Fine, silky blonde hair.
Blonde?
Yes. Yes, it was loose, long, blonde.
Yeah, what else, Billy?
I liked her eyes. Yes, I remember her eyes, very soft. She made me feel warm. I didn't want to kill her.
But you did, Billy, and for that you'll swing.
Very soft. She said I'd swing. She said that. I feel... Well, I won't mind, see? I won't mind swinging. I deserve to, see?
But will it be enough?
I've told you I did it. And she said I would.
Did she tell you she was beautiful? Billy, did Audrey, did your Amy tell you she was beautiful? Did she?
How do you think I've won, then?
Eh? Oh. I'll answer that later.
Oh, don't get all upset, love. There's plenty of time. Want to wait till it's dark like, don't we?
You want another drink?
Ah, now, that is the way to a girl's heart. But you know that, don't you? That's what I like about tops. They say sort of fresh things to you. You know what I mean? They make words sound good. I like that.
Another half.
Oh, 'cause I have a gin?
Oh, you're costing me a fortune.
But I'll be worth it, see? Hey, Charlie!
Yes, so.
Gin for me. Pint of the best for my friend.
Right, so, darling.
He's a nice boy, Charlie. Been around here for years. Knows all of us. Well, I suppose you would after working here for years.
Yeah.
You talk sometimes. Decent talk, come across and sit with you. And once he took me back to his place. Nothing happened. We just sat and talked and listened to his records. It's a smashing collection, all neatly packed up in cardboard boxes. Hey, do you like music?
Depends, doesn't it?
Oh, I know what you mean. Some of it's good and some of it's just, nothing, is
I
it?
used to sing in a choir.
You never.
I did. Proper choir and all. We had a conductor who knew it all.
Get away!
1950, we sang in a festival in Cardiff.
Cardiff?
Just outside. Not far, though. A few miles by train.
Do you know, I never been down that way. I don't fancy it somehow. Besides, we've enough of you taps here. Don't have to go visiting to have a butcher's.
Has its points.
Haven't we all?
Here we are then, look. A pint of ale and a sparkling glass of Mother's Ruin.
How much?
To you, mate, 3 pop. To anyone else, $1/2.
Which is it?
Charlie, this is a friend of mine.
Oh, yeah?
We're having a nice evening together, aren't we, Billy?
Yeah.
I'm being taken for a slap-up meal after this.
Well, good for you then, love. 3 shillings, mate.
Here you are.
Is that very much?
Yeah, come and join us if you got a minute, if things slacking off.
It's like bedlam in here tonight, darling.
Right.
Worse than after the game on a Saturday afternoon. See you, love.
See you, Charlie. Oh, he's a nice man. Cheers.
Look.
How old would you say he was?
How the hell should I know?
Do you know me? I always get quite shocked by how old people are. Charlie, well, he's knocking on 50. You wouldn't think that, would you? Not by looking at him.
He's fat.
Yeah, but then they do, don't they?
Do what?
Get fat, barmen. All those free offers they get over the counter.
How old are you then?
Guess.
You don't half enjoy guessing games.
Well, go on then.
35.
Do I look that?
Well, you asked.
35.
Well, you could be younger, see, but then I'm not much good at guessing. 32.
Stick.
Then you have worn well.
What?
You asked me if I thought you'd worn well.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you have. You can still pretend to get away with 32.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
You're no more 32 than my mother.
Are you calling me a liar?
I am.
Well, now you listen here to me, because just because I'm on the game, that doesn't give you some god-all right to speak to me like
You
that.
are
Oh, you're all the same. Look, does it matter to you how old I am? Is that any bother to you? Is it thump? I know you men, all the same. One thing,
All
one thing.
right, so I answered and you don't like it. No need to get steamed up. True, I don't care how old you are. See, it doesn't matter to me. You asked, though.
Oh, an honest taffy. 32. I haven't been 32 for far too long. For far too long.
Okay. So you're not 32 and I'm not 18.
You're not much more than 18, though, are you?
23.
Ah. I like you, Bill. I can talk to you. Have a conversation, like. I don't get all that much chance for conversing. Not now. I used to, mind. Chat to people, off and on.
Look, we'll go now. It's gone 9:30, see?
Oh, we'll have another drink. You and me, eh?
If
Another
we
drink.
are going to have a meal as well, then we start looking now, right?
Oh, all right, if you say so, sir. Hey, we're off now, Charlie.
Good night, love.
Good night.
Don't do anything I wouldn't say.
Have you got enough money?
For a meal.
Didn't leave it all locked up in your room, did you?
I got enough.
Well, now, I want a nice meal, mind. You've made me feel good. Sort of good inside. You know what I mean? 23. You've been cold. Come on round here, we can get a taxi.
Cross over the road there, we can get a tram.
Yeah, I thought nice men always took beautiful ladies in taxis.
Well, perhaps they do. You'll have to ask them.
Fancy you guessing I was 35. Yeah, I think that's clever, Oh, come on then. Let's get on the tram. I suppose it's worth slumming it with a little taffy.
She was beautiful, see? I should know that. That's what made it all so bad.
It would, Billy. It would.
Ever since I was a small kid, I used to hate seeing other lads pull up flowers and things. Well, where we was, there wasn't much beauty, so I used to hate them doing that. It's daft, really. I mean, they grow again, don't they?
I think we should lay off him, Tommy. He's had enough.
I remember once they strangled a cat with a skippy rope. He swung back and forth, it did, very limp. It'll be just like that for me.
Only they won't hang you. That's all over, Billy.
Had enough?
I haven't, but he has.
Ready. All right, we finished.
For now.
I got it all down, sir, but it didn't make much sense.
Why?
Because it doesn't, not to me.
Sense? No, not the way we see it.
Ready.
Cheerio, Billy.
Poor fool is really around the twist.
I'm not so sure.
Sorry, he's not. Not in your sense, anyhow.
And, Tommy, I do think you want to be more careful.
Oh, why's that?
Well, if the man's not unbalanced, then he certainly is sick.
Oh, he's sick.
Why does he keep on going on about being hanged?
Probably doesn't realize it's been abolished, poor devil.
Not as he is now, no. Will we be seeing you some more today, Julian?
Well, if I can be of any help.
You can't.
Very well. I'll tell the governor we've finished with Simmons for today. You will report back to me tonight.
Trafford will.
But if anything urgent...
John will tell you.
Tommy, he's confessed. All we've got to do is prove it. That's all we want, a conviction for murder.
I'll be starting on the old evidence, calling on witnesses.
Yeah. Very good, then. I'll leave you to it.
All right, let's get out of here and see what Charlie has to say for himself.
Who is it?
A friend, Charlie.
What friend? I'm not opening that door to no friend whose voice I don't know.
Come on, Charlie, open. It's a long time of granting you, but you know who I am.
No, I don't.
We're both older, Charlie.
What do you want?
To talk to you. Preferably inside.
No.
I can get a warrant.
A warrant? Oh, Mr. Flynn. Oh, yeah, of course, Mr. Flynn, yeah. Yeah, just open up, Mr. Flynn. I'm sorry, I didn't recognize your voice.
Thanks, Charlie.
Can't be too careful, you know, Mr. Flynn. Lot of bloody young hooligans hang around these high-rise flats, just looking for trouble. Here, I thought you'd gone to another manor.
I did.
Oh, yeah, then what are you doing back here, then?
It was had to come over especially because I had a sudden craving to see you, Charlie. Would you believe me?
Oh, yeah, can't wait.
Bill Simmons, mean anything to you?
Oh, now, look, Mr. Flynn, I'm knocking 70. I mean, I keep myself to myself, you know. I want a quiet life now, you know. Listen to me, a few records, nothing more.
This Simmons killed Audrey Granson.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, you don't remember her, do you?
But what did you say her name was, Mr. Flynn?
August the 14th, 1955, her body was found in the kitchen of 64 Cedars Road, the house in which you had a rented room. Audrey, the tart who used to pass on tips to you at the Oreo. Do you need any more to jog your memory?
Oh, Mr. Flynn, that's a long time ago. Oh, yeah, I remember the poor kid. But, I mean, still, it was nothing to do with me, Mr. Flynn.
Birkenhead 3124. You used that number quite a lot, didn't you?
Oh, I don't think
Look,
so.
Charlie, you may be nearly 70, but you're not senile. You see, this time I know what happened because, well, Simmons told us. He's told us the whole story.
The fella who said he'd done Audrey, he told you.
Well, he's got no reason to lie to us,
Oh,
Charlie.
it was nothing serious, Mr. Flynn. I mean, I was never properly involved, Mr. Flynn.
Not even when it was murder, Charlie.
Oh, you know me, Mr. Flynn. I mean, I'll help who I can, like, you know, pass on the odd tip. Anything I hear about a job that's going to be done on the docks.
Yeah, and you used to pass the wink to Mal West and Audrey Granson as some poor suckering tone that he was loaded. That was it, wasn't it, Charlie? Nothing much. What did Weston give you? Half a crown for being a big boy?
Oh, you can't prove that.
Oh, but Charlie, I can. And I will. I want you to spend your 70th birthday with all the lads in Walton you put away there, wishing you a happy birthday. I want you inside for what you did. Understand?
All right, Mr. Flynn, I'll tell you. I used to phone up, but I didn't know what was going on, I swear it. And after Audrey got done, I skipped it, didn't I? Got out of that place fast and moved up here. I didn't know the mad idiot was going to kill her, Mr. Flynn.
Ah, but he did, though, didn't he? Now, where's Jenny?
Oh?
Look, don't play around anymore, Charlie. Jenny Hutchins, the girl who found Audrey.
Oh, now, look, you leave her alone, eh? I mean, she'd nothing to do with all that, I swear it.
You swear? Look, Charlie, I don't give tuppence for your feelings or your demonstrations of concern. Where is Jenny?
I don't know.
Look, it's just possible that I could put in a good word and perhaps you could spend that birthday of yours with adoring relatives instead of inside.
I haven't got any relatives.
Very well.
You're all right.
Bastard, Charlie. A mutual epitaph, surely.
Oh, look, Jenny's gone straight ever since. Can't you leave her alone?
Yeah, very touching. Where, Charlie?
Look, Mr. Flynn, I didn't tell you. She still goes into the Oreo for the odd lunchtime drink.
When?
Wednesdays and Fridays.
Time?
Just after opening. First sign of any crowd, she scarfs.
Thank you, Charlie. You've been very helpful. I may need to call you when the trial reopens, but don't leave the country or anything stupid, will you? Here. That's for the tip-off. Now, just open the door and I'll slip away before the neighbours start suspecting you're a Rosser's narc. See you in court.
Trafford,
Yes, sir.
any news of Mr. Flynn?
He's just this minute called in, sir. He's been seeing Charlie Williams. It seems he got a lead to Jenny Hutchins.
Yes, but did you tell him Mrs. Simmons was here and that I've been waiting very patiently to interview for well over 1 hour?
Yes, sir, I did.
And?
Mr. Flynn seemed to be here in 10 minutes, sir, and that was exactly 2 minutes and 20 seconds ago.
Bring Mrs. Simmons into my office.
Wouldn't it be better to wait?
You heard what I said, Sergeant. Please do as I ask immediately.
Yes, sir, at once, sir.
And, Sergeant, bring your notebook so that you can show Mr. Flynn that I've not bribed the witness.
I'll get Mrs. Simmons.
Constable? Sir? Tell Mr. Flynn to come across to my office as soon as he returns. And I want no calls until I let you know. Come in. Ah, Mrs. Simmons. I'm very sorry to have kept you waiting. Please do sit down. A chair, Sergeant.
Yes, sir, of course.
Is Billy here, then?
All in good time, Mrs. Simmons.
Look, where is he? I've a right to know, haven't I? I'm his wife.
He's in Walton Jail. He was remanded in custody this morning. I think, Mrs. Simmons, you understand what that means.
Oh, too flippin' right I do. Look, mister, I know my Billy, and he's not a violent man. Anyway, why would he want to go and say he killed some girl all them years ago? I mean, no one would they?
Your husband is absolutely certain in his own mind. That's why we want to ask
I've
you.
nothing to say.
It would be much easier if you would cooperate, Mrs. Simmons.
Easier for who? You or him?
For Billy, in the long run.
Oh, Billy, is it now?
Mrs. Simmons, has your husband ever said anything about killing anybody or hinted that he might have
Oh,
done?
yes, every day. I mean, he used to recount all the gory details to me over breakfast, you know.
Mrs. Simmons, this isn't...
Isn't that what you want me to say? You really must think I'm stupid. I'm saying nothing more till I've seen him.
Mrs. Simmons, I think I should warn you.
Oh, are you arresting me as well?
I should warn you that your husband is a very sick man.
Sick?
Since he walked into the newspaper office in Leeds, we've been very worried about your husband's behavior.
He has great difficulty in making himself understood.
Well, he gets very tired. And when he does, he begins imagining things. That's what he's doing now. He's made up all this murder story.
No, Mrs. Simmons, it all fits. He's told us about the woman, the place, the time, everything.
You believe him?
It all fits.
And what if he denied ever having said it tomorrow? Would it all fit then?
Mrs. Simmons, I know this must have all come as a deep shock to you, but you must understand that your husband has voluntarily confessed to a murder.
Oh, my God.
Our investigations have since shown that the facts he's given us bear a very close resemblance to an unsolved murder inquiry 17 years ago.
I don't care what your investigations prove. He didn't do it.
I'm sorry you're taking this attitude, Mrs. Simmons. I assure you we're equally anxious to try to clear up this matter as quickly as possible.
By locking him up. Is that how you think you're going to get what you want? Beat hell out of him and then he'll say anything you want?
Really, Mrs. Simmons?
Don't you, Mrs. Simmons, me. I know all about you and your investigations.
Mrs. Simmons, your husband is really very sick. Please, try to understand.
Yeah, and you try to understand this, see. I don't believe my Billy done anything. I know him. I know what you've done to him before.
We're only
not
seeing
talking-
I'm saying nothing more. I want to have a solicitor. I know my rights. I want him to hear everything I've got to say to you and for him to hear your threats.
Nobody has threatened you, Mrs.
I'm
Simmons.
saying nothing more.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Mrs. Simmons, for the last time, we only want to help you and your husband.
By sticking him behind bars again, a fine type of help, that is.
No, that is not our
Well,
intention.
then what is?
Mr. Flynn,
Who's
what-
he? Another one of you lot.
Go and get that tea, Sergeant.
But, sir...
The tea, Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
Now, Mrs. Simmons,
Ah, one against one. No witnesses, is that it?
has your husband ever killed anyone, Mrs. Simmons?
Warren, you must be joking. What gave you that crazy idea? He's never laid a finger on a soul. I've told you he's not like that.
Yes, you've told me.
Now, look, get this straight. I've had enough, see. I came here to see my husband, and you're keeping me here against my will. I want to see him now.
Look, why the hell did you have Trafford sent out for tea?
Because I
I
want...
thought I told you I wanted him in on everything. If I couldn't be in here, then he would be. And not in some bloody canteen getting tea.
He's only been gone about a minute.
Look, if I'm going to handle this case, I want to do it my way. Not yours, not Trafford's, not the chief constable's, but mine.
Oh, you know what you want.
Hey, who are you? Now, look, is that understood, Richards? My way and no one else's.
I'm warning you, Tom. You're not on this matter now. And I'm...
You what? What, I'll be kicked off? I'm a guest, an invited guest, and you invited me.
All right.
Now then, who are you?
This is Simmons' wife.
Oh, you've been kicking up too,
Now,
have you?
just you listen here. You can shout at each other till the cows come home, but you're
We're
not...
not shouting, Mrs. Simmons. We were establishing a working relationship.
I suppose you think that's clever.
Not clever, no, essential. You'd agree, Julian?
Mrs. Simmons is refusing to tell us anything about her husband.
Yeah, Trafford told me. Are frightened of something, Mrs. Simmons?
What should I be frightened of?
Your husband? Us? The man in the moon? You tell me.
I'm saying nothing.
Don't be childish, Queenie. It gets very boring.
How do you Tom?
Your name? Oh, no, a lot about you, Queenie. I know, for instance, he's taken to knocking you about.
That is a monstrous thing to say.
Stop lying, Mrs.
Now, look here, I won't be called a liar. You heard him. You heard him call me a liar.
Come in, Sergeant. You're just in time to hear me repeat to Mrs. Simmons here that she's a liar.
Oh, very good, sir. Tea, Mrs. Simmons?
Queenie, there's no need to lie. I don't like it. Not in a case like this. We're not playing games. Billy's ill.
So you say.
Yes, I do say, Queenie. He's a very sick man. He says he killed and I believe him, but I don't know when.
But they said it was 17 years
It's what
back.
I say, Queenie. Billy killed, yes, but when? 17 years ago or yesterday? Or both?
Are you having me on?
When he went into the offices of the Leeds paper, he didn't know where he was. Today in Walton, he keeps talking about some lovely girl he thinks he killed.
Was she pretty?
Pretty? Was who pretty, Queenie?
This woman he's supposed to have done.
Well, we don't know who he's supposed to have killed, Queenie. We don't know.
The young copper who come round to the house this morning said you thought he killed an old pro in some house here in Birkenhead.
No, right. Who the hell was he?
Well, check, sir.
The woman your husband has confessed to killing was a woman of 40, and she was a well-known prostitute.
Well known by whom, Julian? You?
Really?
You needn't stay if you don't want to.
And you think he could have killed again? He'd done someone else recently, like?
He might have. He keeps on telling us how lovely this girl was. He can't remember her name. He's confused. Audrey was far from young and lovely. You see my dilemma.
What do you want, then?
The truth.
Listen, Queenie. The man in Walton Prison that I saw just now is quite convinced that the girl he killed was a very beautiful woman, and he was going to be hanged for killing her. Now, I believe he did murder Audrey Grantham in August 1955. He was 23 then. You didn't meet him until several years later, 1959. Look, Queenie, could he have killed since then? Could he have murdered another woman? It's for his own good, Queenie, believe me. I've got to know everything.
Will you put him away?
If we can prove anything, he'll get a stretch.
Oh, he's been in and out of Nick all the time we've been married. No, silly things, nothing violent, not as he ever told me. Breaking and entering, mostly. I used to laugh at him. I tell him it might be worthwhile being put away if he got somewhat of value.
When was he last inside?
That would be...
2 years back. Sent down for a year, Doncaster.
When he came out?
Well, he was back on the same lark. Well, not at first, about 2 months ago.
Any big holes?
Oh, we'd be in the Bahamas if there had been, not sitting here. And that's no lie.
Had he changed?
He was quieter. A lot quieter. He'd walk on his own. He'd drink on his own. Sometimes he'd never say a word all night. He'd just sit looking at the telly.
Has he always been quiet?
Over the years, he's got quieter. Nothing you can put your finger on. You see, I'm quite a bit older than him. Not that years seem to matter. Well, not at first, anyway.
What do they now?
I didn't think so.
You mean until you've heard what he's done?
Well, not only that, a lot of other things. Should I have my solicitor?
Have you got one?
No.
Don't write anything else down, Sergeant.
Tom.
No, you heard me, Sergeant. Did he leave you alone a lot?
Look, there's a lot I could say, but what good's it going to do
I'm
him?
not going for him. If a man is sick, I want to know why. I want to know if he definitely killed Audrey. I want to know if there's any others. That's all.
You said earlier that he'd been going on about getting hung. Well, he had got a fear of it. In the pictures and on the telly, he'd get very angry. He'd say that people ought to get hung. Once he chucked a glass at the telly, it broke, it did.
Was he often violent? Drunk?
He'd got a temper like any good man. He wouldn't stand no nonsense. Billy can take care of himself.
Did he often get into fights?
No! Oh, nothing like that. Not that sort of temper. He'd get angry with himself. He'd sort of boil up inside. He'd be trying to say something, explain to me what he felt, and he'd get mad with himself because he couldn't. And then he'd drink.
And why did he throw things at the telly?
Well, I told you, when there were those plays on about men in prisons, or even during things like The Avengers and them other sort of thrillers, or somehow they seemed to be getting at him underneath everything, well, then he'd go mad.
Mad?
Well, not mad, really. I was kind of bottled up. He'd try to argue with them. He'd want to say something to them, but he never could. Not really to them. I mean, they couldn't hear, could they?
Ah, but you could, eh?
He wanted them to understand what men really felt.
Is that all?
That's enough. You mean he was trying to explain what he knew to be the
I
truth?
don't know.
Was this only about plays in which men were imprisoned or in which people were killed?
Well, it didn't happen often, only occasionally. Don't try to make too much of it. Sometimes he'd want to disagree violently with what was being said, and he would.
By breaking the television, by getting drunk, and by hitting you.
No,
Look, you
for
told us a lot,
God's
Queenie. What are
sake,
you
he
frightened of?
wouldn't.
Did he hit you?
No, never.
Why did he leave home last week?
How did you know?
Had he been knocking you about? Had he threatened to do you in like he killed Audrey Grantham and God knows who else? Had he...
I don't know.
But you do, Queenie. You've got to tell me.
Oh, leave me alone. Leave me alone. I can't tell you.
Can't? That's another lie, Queenie. Won't. You won't tell
All
me.
right, then I won't. If that's what you think, I won't bloody tell you.
Oh, he beat you, Queenie. Did he do it often, every night? Did he knock you about a lot?
He never touched
I can't believe
No,
that.
Never, not once.
He knocked you about and he threatened to kill
No,
you.
he
Did he do the same thing to other women? Did he tell you about them? Did he tell you about his other women, Queenie?
There weren't any other women. He never laid a finger on anyone else.
Then he did assault you.
Oh,
Why
no,
did he leave home?
No, I don't remember. Why don't you ask him?
Oh, I have.
You've asked him.
Oh, I've asked him, Queenie, and he told me what he did. He told me, so I know, see?
He never touched me.
That's not what he said.
He's lying.
Oh, you are?
He's lying. A bloody fool's lying.
And why should he? He's got nothing to lie about now.
Oh, let me see him. I want to see him. That's why I come here.
And what if he goes for you again?
Well, one of you will be there this time. One of you... Why don't you leave me alone?
Give Mrs. Simmons that cup of tea, Sergeant.
It's cold now.
Then get another one that's hot.
I don't need anything from you.
I want a drink, so you can have one as well.
If you'll excuse me, Tom, there are some things in the office. Perhaps you could let me know what... I'll be there for some time yet.
Later, Julian. Later.
I'm sorry that it's been so distressing for you, Mrs. Simmons, but I'm sure it'll be better for your husband if you tell Mr. Flynn what you can. Come on, you better get that tea, Sergeant.
Papa's ass.
He has got some sort of manners.
Tell me about it.
Poor Billy. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't... Do you honestly think there's more than one?
Could be. You said to that young copper in Leeds that you knew he'd done something awful.
But you wanted that young copper hauled over the coals for telling me Billy had killed an old pro. And you knew all along what he said and what I'd said.
I knew.
Well, then why pretend you didn't?
I didn't pretend.
You wanted him out the way, is that it?
Something like that. What made you ask the policeman in Leeds if she was a young girl?
The same thing that made you want that copper out. Instinct. Oh, an instinctive reaction. It was the first thing I thought of because it was in my mind. What Billy had said to me was just there and it came out.
And you think that other copper is in my mind and that's why I tried to get him out? Well, you may be right. In fact, you probably are.
Why'd you dislike him so much?
Look, I'm supposed to be asking the questions. Because he thinks he understands people. For him, a case is files, statements, witnesses, collaboration. That's how the real flesh and blood people end up. One big, thick wodge stuck under people's noses. Ask him what any of his witnesses are like. Ask him what makes a man commit a crime and you try to understand. Oh, he'll probably believe he's understanding, but he won't. Not understand.
And you can.
My turn now. Roles reversed. I ask the questions.
Yeah, well, one more. No one's ever told me your name.
Flynn. Inspector Flynn.
What do you want to know?
Tell me why he tried to kill you.
I haven't said he did.
Look, if I'm to understand Billy, I have to know and you have to tell me. Now, I think Billy's confused and sick. Until I know everything about it, though, I can't hope to bring the whole truth out in court. And that's what we have to do if Billy is to escape a full murder rap. Thank you. I'll call if we need help.
Yeah, he looks all in. Shall I wake him? I don't think we were too popular arriving at this hour. The governor seemed quite curt.
Wake him. Gently.
Billy, wake up. Come on. Wakey, wakey. Flat out, sir.
He's not a little boy, John. Shake him. Gently.
Come on, lad. Show a leg.
Will you get off?
What's he saying?
Probably cursing us for waking him up. Hello, Billy. You remember me, don't you? Inspector Flynn, and this is Sergeant Trafford. We just want to ask you a few more questions.
Oh, go away.
I thought you'd like to know that Queenie's come over to see you.
Well, I won't see her. Queenie can go back home, see. What's she after now? Watch her. You watch her. You keep an eye on her, I do.
Why, Billy?
I told you. She steals.
What did she steal, Billy?
And I stopped that. At school, they pushed a lad's head down the lathe and it cut all his nose. Teacher caned him as well.
Had he been stealing?
Dinner money. How did she get here?
Who?
She was always trying to make me spend more money. Fur coats, makeup, taxis, never spent a penny of her own. Oh, no, not her. Oh, well, why should she when she could live on me? But I told her, no taxis, no expensive food. After all, she owed me something, didn't she?
I'm not used to it, you know.
What?
Usually I get taken in taxis.
Yeah, well, not by me.
What?
I said not by me.
Don't you think I'm worth it then?
Look, I've spent a small fortune on you
Small
already.
fortune, a few shillings and a couple of bevies.
As yet, I don't know what I'm getting in return.
I've told you.
Oh, yes, you told me.
You are impatient. Still, I like that. Shows you got a bit of go about you.
Shut up. Don't tram, do you?
Well, it's true. You remember what it's about, eh?
If we carry on like this much longer, I'll soon have forgotten. Where are we?
Scotland Road.
Do you own that house?
Me and whose money?
Just rent a room, like?
If you like. I'm the caretaker.
Why did you start going on the job, then?
Oh, we have become a right little chatterbox, haven't we? What do you want? Me life story?
No, I'm just interested, see? You know, why you do it, no?
Oh, I thought you were something special.
What's that mean?
Special? Different? The same questions all the time. Why do you want to do it? Do you know how many times I've been asked that? Well, everybody wants to know that. But shall I tell you? Because there's tappies and micks and every other bloody type that can't get what they want somewhere else, so they come knocking on my door for rooms and whatever else they can lay their hands on. And every single one of you wants to know why.
All right, now I was making speeches.
Have you got a girlfriend? Have you? Well, ask her why we do it. Get your married fella to ask his missus why we do it. Because they need it. Want something we give them that their own women don't.
I haven't got any girlfriend. Well, not like this, see?
Oh, what am I supposed to do, cry? Feel sorry for you? Hold your hand for you?
I don't know.
Oh, for 23, Tappy. You're still wet behind the ears. So I thought I'd pick myself a man when you came along.
Now, listen, you.
Oh, I thought you didn't want everyone to hear.
Well, I don't see. So you shut up, okay?
You were asking the questions.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Too nosy by half, you are.
Shut up. You bore me.
You don't exactly set the Mersey alight with your own sparkling conversation. Oh, you want to know all about me, but the minute I want to ask about you, you get all bad-tempered and upset. You make me sick.
Then let's get back to the house, right? Get it over with.
We get off next stop.
This where the cafes are?
I told you. Wash your lugs.
Well, shall we get off then?
Oh, we haven't come all this way for a joyride round the pier edge.
Where are we then?
Up there's Lime Street, and round there's the Caps. Plenty of them. You don't really like being out with me, do you? Make you feel embarrassed, do I?
Let's get on with the food.
I'm not stringing you along. You know that, don't you? I mean, I do like you.
I just want to get back to that house, see? So let's get you grub eaten and quick. She was using me. If I'd been promised I was entitled and she knew it, playing for time, see?
Why was she playing for time, Billy?
Because she was clever. They all are, fingers into everything, nothing safe. Not even when they lock you up in stinking holes like these.
So when they steal from you, you have to hurt them. Is that it, Billy?
Well, you're a copper. It's wrong to steal, isn't it? Steal of your own like.
The Queenie says she never stole from you.
Yeah, she would.
Well, why should she lie?
Because she wouldn't believe me. I killed her. That's why I come here. What more do you want? I killed her. Oh, God, I did. I did. And she was such a lovely thing, too. Wouldn't hurt to fly herself. Too gentle, but I had to do it.
Did you want to kill Queenie, too? Look, Billy, do you think you should kill Queenie? I mean, is that why you wanted to tell us about it?
Lying cow. Oh, you don't know what they like. She denied taking it. See, I gave her a chance to tell me the truth, but she shouted at me lies, but I knew she'd taken it, my money. And if she does it again, then... Well, I've warned her, haven't I? She knows what I did to her last time.
What the hell's he going on about?
Queenie's told us about you hitting her, about you getting upset and drinking. I mean, why do you do these things, Billy? Is it because you killed Audrey?
Eh? I thought her name was Amy. Amy. I can still see her face. You see, I can't forget her face. It was so fresh. Like an apple in Ross Williams's orchard.
He's slipping off. I wonder how much he's taking in. I don't envy him one iota. Come on.
Okay, we're ready to leave. I don't honestly see why you had to dash over here at 12:30 in the morning. If anything, I'm only more confused.
Yeah, so Simmons, he's talking about different people, different times and places, but they're all jumbled up. One minute it's Queenie, the next Amy or Audrey, and then this beautiful maiden in dire distress.
Do you think he has killed more than once?
I don't know. I think he's wanted to, even if he hasn't.
What next? I mean, tomorrow, presuming we are getting some sleep tonight.
Confront him with Queenie and turn up Jenny Hutchins. That should make for a full program. I want to crack this one quickly, John. Yes?
Trafford, sir, good news.
Oh, well?
Jenny Hutchins coming to the Oriole. Charlie gave our lad the wink and he called me up. We followed her to a posh new estate just outside Ormskirk, detached bungalow, fetch a tidy
Look, we're
penny.
not in real estate, John.
Yeah, do you want to bring it in?
Oh, good Lord, no. I wanted her in a detached bungalow surrounded by all her newfound wealth. From prostitute to luxury in 17 easy years. I think I feel quite jealous, John.
You'll come straight over then?
Yeah, give the instructions how to get there to the desk chap. I just want to make sure Mrs. Simmons will be at Walton later this afternoon.
Did you have any luck?
Nothing. Still no sign of Ma Weston. Oh, and the milkman who went into the house with young Jenny after she'd phoned us couldn't remember a single thing about the whole business. He said he had absolutely no recollection of the house or the murder. Funny thing was, I believed him. Oh, and John.
Yes.
Elvis has passed on.
Oh? Who was he? You don't
Yeah,
remember?
the milkman's horse. You very conscientiously jotted down his name in your original notes, and I conscientiously made inquiries as to his health. The milkman couldn't remember him either, but assumed he must be dead as he had an electric float now. And that hadn't got a name. You know, I felt life meant nothing to that man at all. He seemed totally disinterested in everything.
Not a very good witness if we wanted to call him.
Yeah, but we don't. With Charlie, Jenny, and Weston, if we can find her, we're home and dry. 17 years of half-truths and theories will be finally laid to rest, and Simmons will get a couple of years for manslaughter. Right, see you in about an hour.
Yes,
Mrs. Jennifer Westmoreland,
yes.
formerly Jenny Hutchins.
I'm afraid you must have made some mistake. Now, if you wouldn't mind, I'm expecting my husband home any
And
minute.
you wouldn't like him to see you with a strange man, not after all these years.
What the hell do you mean? How dare you speak to me in that way?
Oh, but you see, little Jenny, I do dare. And what's more, I'm enjoying it. Now, aren't you going to be hospitable and invite an old friend into your lovely house?
Certainly not. And if you don't leave this instant, I shall call the police.
You're being very unsociable, Jenny. You used to be all smiles and very, very friendly, remember?
Look, I don't know what you want or who you are, but I'm warning you that my hubby will take very serious action against you if you do not go immediately.
Still telling lies as well. Such a naughty little girl. Jenny the fibber.
Please, leave me alone.
Hubby is in banking and has gone to a conference in Glasgow.
That is nonsense.
In Glasgow. And will not be home until early Sunday morning. You were in the house alone because after you'd been for a drink in Oriel Arms public house this morning, you collected your two boys from friends and took them onto the sandhills at Formby. At 4:45 p.m., you took them to a party and you returned here exactly 6 minutes ago. Oh, and the boys are called Jonathan and Mark. Is that all lies, Jenny?
No. And it's not against the law, is it?
So I'm easily recognized as a copper. Why did a respectable woman like you choose to go for a drink in a pub like the Oriel Arms?
Is that a crime as well?
Well, not at all. Although it used to have a very unsavory reputation. It was frequented by a certain type of woman who you certainly wouldn't find living around a place like this, or would you? Well,
How should I know?
you should know, Mrs. Westmoreland, mother of two, because 17 years ago you were just such a girl, a common prostitute.
I have never heard such fantastic insinuations in my
Oh,
life.
come off it, kid. Look, you lied to me 17 years back. And I warn you, you're not going to wriggle away this time. We've got him, Jenny. The bloke who killed Audrey.
Look, I'm afraid
Right. No more games. Look, I'm Tommy Flynn, as you well remember. Now, if you won't play ball the easy way, I'll make it difficult for you. How would you like your well-fed, cosy neighbours to have their illusions shattered about those very nice Westmorelands? Or do you think a letter to the boys' school? Or possibly, even more effective, a suggestion to your husband that he do a little research into his wife's antecedents? All those are good, but a quick call to a newspaper would be the piece de resistance.
you're bluffing.
Try me!
You'd better come in.
Thank you. Oh, and don't worry. I'll wipe me feet.
Well,
You no longer deny that you're Jennifer Hutchins.
I'm neither denying nor confirming. You do the talking.
You read about this man Simmons confessing to a murder in Birkenhead. Did he ring any bells?
If it did,
You knew Audrey Grantham. You found her after she'd been stabbed by Simmons. Surely you felt something.
and you think this man did it.
Oh, I know he did, yeah. But you see, Jenny, I also know why, and this is where you can come in.
Oh, how?
When I first met you after the murder, you started blabbing away about how you knew it would all end up like this. You were hysterical and told me that you would tell me exactly what Audrey had been up to. Then Ma Weston appeared as if by magic, and from then on, little Jenny shut up shop. No more confessions, only lies and more lies.
I don't recall any of this.
Well, let me refresh your memory. Now, we arrived at 64 Cedars Road at 7:43 a.m. on the morning of August the 14th, 1955. We found Audrey Grantham lying on the kitchen floor, very badly beaten and stabbed, but still alive. Now, you were in the room, and waiting outside was a milkman, Herbert Phelps. You said, "I knew this would happen one day. It wasn't bloody worth it, not for a few measly quid." A few minutes later, you stated that you'd seen Audrey on the afternoon of the 13th, and that you knew she had gone to have a drink at the Oriel Arms public house in Everton. Shall I go on?
If you want to.
When Ma Weston came on the scene about 8:45 a.m., you began to change your story, or twist what you'd already said. Why, Jenny? Were you afraid of Ma?
I can't remember.
Oh, I dislike your sauce. You do realize I could have you put away for...
Are you trying to blackmail me?
Yes! All right. Now, what game were you and Audrey Grantham working?
I will not be bullied.
Hello? Yeah. I want to speak to the editor, please. Never mind who it is. Just give him on the phone.
He wouldn't listen.
I'll take a bet on him being very interested.
Put it down.
Hello? Who? No, I want to speak to your boss.
Please, put it down. I'll tell you what I can.
Look, awfully sorry, but I've just remembered something frightfully urgent. Yeah, thank you. No, not at all. Good night.
Will I have to give evidence?
Frightened you'll lose all this.
Wouldn't you be?
Possibly.
Ask me what you want to know and I'll tell you if you're right.
In August 1955, you were making a living as a prostitute.
Yeah,
You were resident at 64 Cedars Road,
yeah,
and you were 17 years old. Well,
yeah.
did you have an arrangement, for want of a better word, that whilst your male clients were out whining and dining you, their valuables would be stolen from the rooms?
Something like that.
Did you yourself enter rooms, let to male clients of Audrey Grantham and remove money and other valuables?
It's a long time ago.
Answer the question!
Yes.
And did you enter the room of William Gwynne Simmons on the night of August the 13th, 1955, and take from his suitcase an unspecified sum of money?
I didn't know that was his name.
What did you do with the money?
I gave it all to her.
Ma Weston. It was Ma Weston who told you to go to the room because she had a phone call from Charlie at the Oriel saying that Audrey and her bloke were well ensconced and that the coast was clear. Did Audrey pinch from your men when you were out?
Leave me alone. Just leave me alone. You've got what you want.
Aren't you glad we've got Simmons? Aren't you pleased for Audrey's sake?
Look, she's dead. I can't even remember what she looked like. That was another life. I live here now with Alexander, my husband, and the 2 boys. I left all that behind 17 years ago.
But you can't just walk out on the past, Mrs. Westmoreland. I found you. Anyone else who really wanted to could do exactly the same.
I was 17.
And you were a prostitute, a thief, and a liar. Would have saved you a lot of trouble if you'd told me the truth then, you know. Ma Weston would have been put away. You'd have probably been put in care. Now it could all blow up in your face and destroy all this.
I was 17.
Yeah, and Audrey was 40 and Simmons 23. And now one of them is dead and the other's half crazy. You're quite lucky, really. I should be prepared for the worst, though. Although, I'll say one thing. You have told me what I wanted to know. I won't tell the boys where to find you, if I can possibly avoid it.
I hope you enjoyed what you've just done. You had no need to come here. You knew it all already. But you had to put me through that for your own gratification. Well, I hope you're satisfied. I feel dirty and sick. I feel I could never face my family again.
You'll learn. After all, you've managed to forget Audrey's face, remember?
Ain't it time yet?
Won't be long now.
Now, this won't be easy, Queenie. But I think it's essential that you see Billy this afternoon before he becomes too confused in his mind to recognize you. And now, before we go along, you're sure you've thought of everything about Billy?
Oh, I think so. Things are a bit muddled, you know. I'm still certain Billy's not a violent man. I don't think he's really a bad man. I mean, not deep down. Oh, but he has changed.
You mean this fixation he has?
Yeah,
About you being old and ugly?
something like that.
Those were your own words.
All right, my own words. Ugly, old, and a thief.
A thief? You never said anything about Billy calling you a thief.
Not calling. Implying. Locking up his money. Hiding things. Checking his shopping bags when I was going out. Silly, daft things.
You should have told me.
Well, I have now.
When did this start, Mrs. Simmons?
He'd always been careful with his money, but this last time, after he come out of Doncaster, it grew into a kind of obsession. I had to sew zips on all his pockets. He refused to take any money with him when he went out.
Did you ask him why?
I tried.
Queenie, you must tell me.
Well, he said I was just like all the other bastards and couldn't be trusted. No one could be trusted, not even all those people closest to him.
Queenie, did he give you any explanation?
Well, you see, I thought it was some bloke had worked him over in the nick. But I was wrong, though, wasn't I? His money and all. It's got something to do with all this business, hasn't it? You see, he was always counting it, hiding it, muttering to himself about people pinching it. He took to spending hours at it. And when I asked him why, that's when he turned on me, shouting and calling me names. Telling me I was old.
And ugly. And a thief. Had Billy hit you before he went into Doncaster prison that last time?
No, never.
And since he came out? More than once? John, get Mrs. Simmons a glass of water. Tell the governor we'll be a few minutes more, yeah? Okay? I'm glad you could come, Julian.
How can I be of assistance?
By just observing. Now, for the past 2 days, I've been trying to convince myself that Simmons did stab Audrey Grantham. I've gone over all the old evidence and seen 2 of the 3 chief witnesses.
There's still nothing on Ma Weston.
No, we can forget about her now. In my final summing up report on this case, made on April the 3rd, 1957, I said that I suspected that the person who stabbed Audrey Grantham had done so because she had robbed him.
Yeah.
I further suggested that the attack was not premeditated, that the killer had probably panicked, grabbed all his stuff and dashed out of the house, disposing of the murder weapon at some later date. Now, at the close of this summing up, I made a somewhat prophetic observation that owing to a lack of evidence and because we had no real identification to work on, the killer would probably remain undetected until some new piece of evidence came to light or until he chose to give himself up.
Very prophetic.
Yeah.
And your inquiries to date have confirmed your observations?
Yeah. Simmons' suitcase was rifled by young Jenny Hutchins, who then took the cash up to Ma Weston. In the morning, he happened to notice his money was gone. Chased after Audrey, who'd gone downstairs to make a cup of tea, and he's just putting out the money for the milk. He sees money in her hand, picks up a knife, and Bob's your uncle.
Well, that seems to have it all cut and dried.
Not quite. You see, I want to know what made Simmons decide to confess after 17 years. I also want to know why he's half out of his mind.
Surely that's a job for the psychiatrist.
Perhaps.
What do you intend to do?
Confront Simmons with his wife and see what happens.
All right, if you think it'll help.
Thanks, Julian. John, ask for Mrs. Simmons to be brought along and stay outside with her until I call you.
Right, sir.
Now, if you'll come this way, we'll go and see Simmons.
Hello, Billy.
I killed her. Oh, why can't you just get on with it, see? Just get on with it.
Would you keep up by the door, Julian?
Right.
Thank you. Billy, what happened when you stabbed Audrey? You did stab her, didn't you?
There was no noise. She made no noise. I told you that.
Did you stab her because she was stealing your money?
I didn't mean to hurt her. She was such a lovely girl. Really pretty.
But you stabbed her all the same, Billy. Now, why? Tell me why.
Can't keep her fingers off a thing. She's always stealing, always stealing, filthy old bitch. I stopped her, though. I stopped her good and proper. She won't steal again.
She's outside, Billy. She wants to see you.
Grab, all the time. She wanted me locked up, see, so she could have it all. But it's my money. Mine.
So you
Mine, it's mine.
Took the knife and hit her again and again.
You dirty old whore.
What's the matter with you?
50 quid. You nicked 50 quid.
I don't know what you're talking
What's
about.
that in your hand?
A quid. For the milk. Taffy, for the milk. You damn silly bastard. You'll swing for this. Good help me. You'll swing.
Stinky, little thief, filthy, ugly, old.
Now, John, let her in now. Audrey was pinching your money, so you killed her.
Hello, Billy, love. You all right?
She took it. She took it and I killed her.
But this is your wife, Mr. Simmons.
No.
Oh, she is, Billy, your wife. And you wanted to kill her too, didn't you?
Don't say anything, love. Don't say anything.
Oh, Billy, you wanted to kill Queenie. She was stealing from you too, wasn't she? She was nothing more than a thieving old bag. You wanted to murder your wife as well as Audrey Granson.
He didn't. He didn't.
She was still there, you see. And she was beautiful. I don't think she was anything like you.
Look, he doesn't know what he's saying.
This is your wife. This isn't Audrey Granson. She's been dead for 17 years. Why do you want to kill your wife, Billy?
No one would listen. I told them I killed her. I tried to tell you, Queenie, I didn't want to do it again.
But you can't kill the same person twice, Billy. You wanted to kill your wife because in your mind she'd become Audrey.
You must believe me. I didn't want to do it. Not again.
She's really dead, Billy. You got it all muddled like. You thought I was pinching off you and I wouldn't do that.
I warned you not to take things from me, Queenie. I did warn you.
I never stole anything from you, love. Never. It was our Audrey, the woman in Liverpool. She stole from you, not me.
That's why I hit her.
You done that to me as well. You hit me as well, you know. You thought I'd been pinching from you, and I hadn't, love. I hadn't, I swear.
Queenie, I told you I'd done her. No one believed me, but I knew. I could see her all the time.
What was she like? What was Audrey like, Billy?
Was she like me, Billy? Old? Ugly? Was that it?
Sometimes she is. I don't think I remember. Oh, Queenie, let me try to understand. I thought you were dead, but she is. She really is.
I think that's enough, Tommy. Come along, Mr. Simmons.
Oh, you were very beautiful as a girl. You had the nicest eyes. Always smiling.
We'll see you tomorrow, Billy. Try not to think about it tonight.
And I'll see you tomorrow.
Collect up the bits and pieces, would you, Trafford?
Yes, of course, sir.
I never meant to hurt you, Queenie. You must believe that. But sometimes it wasn't you I could see.
I think she knows that, Billy. See you tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. It's not so far off, is it?
Of course, he'll have to be examined by psychiatrists.
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about them. They have a jargon all to themselves. They might get better if they reversed roles on the couch.
Do you think Simmons has a fair chance of fully appreciating what happened to him over the years?
We can't be certain that I'm right. I think I am. I believe that's how my man acted. He became convinced in his own mind that Audrey Granson was a beautiful young woman he had brutally murdered. He tried to rid himself of this guilt feeling by spending long periods in jail. When this didn't alleviate his mental suffering, he turned on his wife. He saw her as a replacement for Audrey, and she became the thief and the prostitute. In the end, he beat her and tried to kill her.
Do we know that for certain?
Well, Queenie told me a great deal, but she held out about the beatings. Finally, she let slip about this thief business. You know, I'm quite certain that Simmons went for her. And in his mind, he half realized what he'd done, and he somehow managed to make his way to the newspaper office. By then, he was too far gone to be coherent.
So you think, in his own way, he was trying to protect Queenie from emotions he could no longer control?
Yeah, something like that. Well, I'll be off as soon as I can. I will, of course, come up for the trial if you need me, but I think John can handle it.
Oh, yes? What is it, Trafford?
I just thought I'd let you know, sir, we've located Ma Weston.
It hardly seems necessary you're going to see her now. I can't see us preferring charges against Ma Weston after 17 years.
I'd like to see Weston, if only for old time's sake and to complete my trio of witnesses.
All right. But remember, she must be at least 100. Go easy on her. And, Tommy, well done.
Thanks, Julian. I enjoyed working with you. Good luck with your promotion.
Kerman?
Inspector Flynn, Reverend Mother.
Thank you, Sister Colonel. Please come in, Inspector.
It is nice to see you after so long.
You did know I'd left Birkenhead, Mother.
I think a little bird had whispered something to that effect. This is not a social call, is it? Is there someone in particular you wanted to see?
There is. Old Ma Weston.
Ah.
She is still alive.
Oh, very much so. I would say without any hesitation that she is our liveliest patient. Hardly a day passes without her indulging in some little mischief. She is a great delight to us all.
She would be.
I take it you don't exactly approve.
Oh, she's an old woman now, but, well, I knew her a long time ago, Mother.
Oh, so did I, Inspector. Mrs. Weston has been with us for 7 years now. I think I had known her for well over 20 years before that.
Well, could I see her then?
Of course.
Yes, Mother?
Would you bring Mrs. Weston to me, please, Sister Carmel?
Of course, Mother.
How long is it since you saw Mrs. Weston?
Oh, 17 years, something like that. I had occasion to interview her in connection with one of her girls.
Her girls? Do you know she still refers to us as her girls? She's always most concerned that we look our best. I think she misses quite a number of them.
You think so?
Oh, don't judge her too harshly, Inspector. Do you know she still has quite a few visitors? Some of them are respectably married, but they still come to see her. 1 or 2 have fallen on hard times, but they say they like to come. It cheers them up.
But some of these girls were only kids, Mother. I mean, old Ma Weston set them up on the streets.
Oh, you're wrong, Inspector. She did not set them up, as you say, far from it. She gave most of them a home, a place to live. She looked after her girls in the only way she knew possible. Of course, it was wrong. I'm not denying that. As a nun, how could I? But in a city like this, some lonely girls ended up with Ma Weston, and some ended up with me. I blame it on the conditions in which girls like those were forced to grow up. Come in.
Mrs. Weston, Mother.
Oh, thank you, sister. You may leave.
Yes, Mother.
There's a gentleman to see you, Mrs. Weston. An old friend.
A gentleman? Oh, how nice. Oh, you haven't forgotten me, then. I keep telling the girls here how good you all are to me. But they're a bit stiff-lipped, you know. Not like the old days.
You remember me, Ma?
No, of course I do. I never forget a face. Can you hear the music? It's quite lovely, isn't it? It's a waltz, I think. Some of the young ones are so nervous, and I always think music is a great soother. But you're not nervous, are you? I can tell that. Oh, they're such dear girls, all of them. Very loyal. They still come to visit me, you see, despite my circumstances.
How long has she been like this?
For about 4 years.
Don't pay any attention to her. She refuses to dress properly. Anyone would think we were running a funeral parlor. But I had some lovely clothes for the girls. They love to look nice. A young man will always be polite if a girl is suitably dressed. Between ourselves, I think you could look so much more handsome if you took a little more care with your clothes. Creases are a sign of an untidy mind.
Yes, Mrs. Weston. Ma, it's Tommy Flynn.
Yes.
I want to ask you a few questions.
I don't think you'll have much success.
Well, can she remember anything?
Oh, plenty. But she's no longer very logical.
Yeah, I can see that.
She lives in a dream world of her own. She's quite convinced herself that everything she ever did was quite beautiful and to the benefit of everyone around her.
Good for her. Very convenient.
Oh, she believes it, Inspector. Whatever she did make of her life, she has managed to remember only the good things. Perhaps at first she had a sense of guilt and remorse. She certainly used to tell me some pretty awful stories. But gradually she shut those out, and they very rarely return. Her past life is gone, blotted out. All that remains is what she now chooses to recall.
You're taking a long time to decide. They can be very strict, you know. come here. I want to tell you something. We are all going on holiday next week. All of us. Now, don't you breathe a word, mind you. It's to be a surprise. How they'll laugh. Oh, no, I won't talk about money. There's a little box as you go out. I always ask you to leave something just to help my poor girls. No one else will.
I will, Mum.
There's a sweet boy, and they're so terribly young, some of them. Little more than children. How about a kiss for me before you go? I'm not too old to appreciate a little affection, and there isn't very much of that allowed in here, you know. A bit on the side, but it's frowned on.
Thank you, Mother.
Yes, Mother? Sister is going to take you back to your room, Mrs. Weston.
Oh, such a lovely girl, this one. Delicate features, haven't you, my dear? And such lovely golden hair. But they will keep it covered up. Very foolish. I keep on telling them.
Goodbye, Ma.
If you'd only listen to me, I could make you a real beauty. Then you could have the pick of the young man.
Come on, Mrs. Weston. Thank you, Sister Karma. Are you disappointed? Was it important?
To me. I won't be disturbing you again, Mother. I suppose she's better off as she is.
You can tell. I think, though, when you've lived as she has done, that it's better to forget than to be haunted all the time by memories and half-truths. She's happy now, and I wouldn't want that changed.
Perhaps you're right. I'll see myself out, Mother. Thank you again for letting me see you.
I enjoyed working with you again, sir.
Well, don't leave it another 2.5 years before getting in touch. I'm glad Simmons only got a year. He seems much better already.
Aye. He's very upset about Queenie disappearing like she has. I just hope she doesn't run out on him permanently.
You could hardly blame her, I suppose. In our own ways, we all try to escape from things at times. You know, it's funny. I never thought when I first come back on the case just over a month ago that I'd feel any sense of regret at leaving Birkenhead. But I do.
Aye.
Still, there you are. Well, cheerio, John. And good luck with Mr. Richards. I think he learned a thing or two.
Thank you.
Remember me to your good lady.
I will, sir.
Right, platform 5, I think.
In 17 years back, the cast was as follows. Inspector Flynn, Robert Keegan, Sergeant Trafford, Geoffrey Matthews, Superintendent Richards, John Pullen, Bill Simmons, Alan Downer, Queenie Simmons, Barbara Mitchell, Audrey Gransom, Kate Binchy, Charlie Williams and desk clerk, Henry Stamper, Jenny Hutchins and Sister Carmel, Judy Bennett, Ma Weston, Catherine Parr, and Mother Superior, Sheila Grant. 17 years back was written by Martin Jenkins and produced by Jerry Jones.
We present Paul Kermack as Chief Inspector Thane and Gerard Slevin as Inspector Moss in Draw Batons, adapted for radio from his book by Bill Knox. Draw Batons.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Eh?
I said you shouldn't be doing that.
Wait till I get into the station. All right, what is it?
Oh, look, Sergeant Lang, you're maybe running this exhibition, but I'm the caretaker here, and if any of those toy trains get damaged, I'll get it in the neck.
Relax, man. I just wanted a wee shot. It's quite a layout, eh? Goods trains, passenger trains, stations, signals. Wish I'd had something like this when I was a kid.
Huh? Wish I knew it was all in aid of.
Well, look at the banners, man.
Project Community. So what?
So it's important enough for the Chief Constable to be coming to this flea pit of a hall tomorrow, plus a load of other VIPs.
Oh, I have seen the free booze that's in for them. What's it all about?
Well, you should know.
I'm just a caretaker. Glasgow Corporation don't pay me to think.
Just to make tea and mumble, is that it?
You drink the tea, Sergeant Lang, like you just invented thirst.
Millside Division has its community problems, right?
So?
So they take me off the beat, make me a sergeant, and make me community relations officer. Grassroots crime prevention, social welfare, and letting folk know cops are people.
Oh, if you say so.
Very funny. What's the time?
Nearly midnight.
All locked up?
For a long time, since the last of those club folk left, and I've got a kettle boiling.
Ah, good. I'll have a cuppa before I go. I'll have another wee shot at these trains first. Now, let's see. Oh, look at her go. 6, 7, 8 carriages in that lot. Oh, look how she took that car, eh?
Just be careful.
Oh, she'll go faster than that. Into the tunnel. Behind that big bit of scenery. Oh, hell.
That's done it.
Oh, shut up. I can't see what happened from here.
I warned you. If anything's broken...
Oh, stop moaning. Let's go and look. Round this way. Behind this scenery and...
What's wrong, huh? Is it broken? Oh, my God.
Don't touch him, man.
Is he dead?
Very. The way he's lying across the track. That's what made the train crash. Right. Where's your phone?
In my office.
Good morning, sir.
Don't make it worse, Mac. It's only 1 a.m. Where's Inspector Moss?
He's at the railway layout. That's where it happened.
So I heard. And Sergeant Lang?
Over there, sir.
Fine. Hi, Phil.
Oh, so you've arrived at last.
Which shows complete confidence in your ability.
Never mind the flannel. We've got problems coming.
What's the score?
Well, the caretaker saw nothing, heard nothing, and knows even less. And Francie Lang's the same. Watch out,
Inspector.
Oh, careful with that damn camera.
Sorry.
Scientific Bureau. Give them a magnifying glass and they think they rule the world.
What about our body, Phil?
Oh, you know, it's Harry Durman, the car dealer.
Durman? What was he doing here?
Playing at trains. Oh, that's how it looks. From the tools lying around, he'd been repairing the model track.
Where is he?
I'll show you around this way. Behind this cardboard scenery.
Mm-hmm. Here. It's a nice layout, eh? Plenty of trains, too.
Don't you start. I'll send Detective Constable Beeks round to Durman's flat to check it out.
Good.
Well, there you are.
Aye. Well, he looks peaceful. And there's not too much blood, which helps. Weapon?
Yes. No fingerprints.
Long-bladed electrical screwdriver.
Thin as a knitting needle, but sharper.
Mm-hmm. Time of death?
I don't know. We're still waiting for Doc Williams. It's been a busy night for police surgeons. Somebody got shot in Northern Division.
Well, that's Northern Division's worry. This is ours.
Who would want to murder a second-hand car dealer?
In Durman's case, just about anyone who bought a car from him. He specialized in tarted-up bangers.
Didn't have a record, did he?
Nothing ever proved. But he had some shady friends, Phil. There was something else.
Like what?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There's something wrong?
Oh, just the usual.
Oh, your stomach ulcer. When did you eat last, Phil?
Oh, on schedule, but in the canteen.
Grease with everything, eh? Durman. I've got it. Gerald Walsh.
Yeah? The gambling club king?
Yes. He was Durman's partner in that bingo hall deal.
What bingo hall?
About 6 months back. Burned down one night.
Oh.
Looked like arson, but the insurance paid out.
And there's no proof.
Not enough.
You're Gerald Walsh's big time, Colin.
I know. But Durman wasn't.
Sir.
What is it, Mac?
It's a telephone message from Constable Beach, sir. He's at Durman's flat, Chief Inspector. He says... he says he'd like some help, sir.
What the hell's he going on about?
Well, there's been a break-in at the place, sir.
I'll go, Phil. Take over again here, will you? And try and squeeze some sense out of the caretaker. I'll be back later, but if you need me, I'll be at Durman's flat. Well, Beach?
Inspector Moss sent me out with Durman's keys, sir. But the house door was locked. Once I got in... Well, this room, sir. See for yourself.
Aye. Somebody's been here, all right.
Cupboards emptied, drawers ransacked. They got in through that window, sir.
Aye. Snip forced by Jimmy. What's outside?
Oh, just the backyard, sir.
You talked to the neighbors yet?
No, sir.
No, they can wait. Now, this room looks like a workshop.
Well, there's plenty of tools lying around. Oh, these model planes and things, sir. You think he made them all?
Probably. He was a hobby fanatic.
Well, this one's a beauty. This plane, sir. See, that's a 2.5cc diesel engine. Well, it would be radio-controlled in flight. When I was a kid, I always wanted one like that.
With me, it was model boats.
Huh?
Still, my kids would like to see this.
Aye, they're up in the Highlands just now with their wife, aren't they, sir?
Aye, a friend loaned her a cottage for a week.
Sounds nicer.
Well, right now, I wish I was there, too, still. I wonder. Whoever broke in here came looking for something. The question is, did he find it?
Well, who'll that be?
Oh, it'll be my driver. You better let him in.
Right, sir.
Wait a minute. That's a key. Arterside Beach.
Right, sir.
Quick, man.
Harry. Harry, it's me, Roy. You in?
Good morning.
The hell are you?
Police? You live here?
No. Police. Where's your warrant card?
Yep.
Detective Chief Inspector. Oh, top brass type fuzz.
Middle brass. Who gave you the key to this place?
Harry did. Harry Dunman. What's going on? Where is Harry?
He's dead.
Dead? How? What happened?
That'll keep. What's in the package?
Something for Harry.
Beach, open it.
Right, sir.
Hey, now, wait a minute.
Don't worry, I'll be careful.
You can't do this.
I said Harry was dead. Mind telling me your name and why you're here?
I'm Roy Davidson. A kind of friend. I promised Harry I'd bring that parcel round tonight. He said he might be pretty late back and, well, he gave me a key.
It's after 1 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Davidson. You're pretty late yourself.
I suppose so.
Yeah, this parcel, sir. It's some kind of control unit.
Yes, that's right. It's a radio control unit for handling model planes at a distance. I had it on loan from Harry.
So you're a model maker, too?
Yes. Now, look, about Harry.
He was murdered.
Murdered?
Tonight.
Where?
King Street Public Hall. He was working on a model railway display.
Yes, I know. I mean about the display and that he'd be there. You see, I'm in the same club.
How old are you, Mr. Davidson?
20. I'm a second-year university student taking a science degree. But look, about Harry.
He was stabbed in the back.
Oh, poor old Harry.
Well, why didn't you just take the parcel to the exhibition hall?
Well, Harry had something else to do. He said he wasn't sure when he'd get there.
And when did he tell you all this?
This afternoon. He contacted me and said he needed the control unit back in a hurry.
Did he say why?
Well, something had gone wrong with the only other one he had.
I see. Mind telling me where you've been tonight, Mr. Davidson?
Out with a girl. Well, I really should have been helping with the display.
But girls get priority, eh?
Each.
Sir.
What's her name, Davidson?
Well,
Her name, laddie.
Tracy. Tracy Walsh.
Gerald Walsh's daughter?
Yes, that's right. We were at a disco club in town. I drove her home afterwards and then came out here.
Have you known her long?
It's Tracy. Oh, for a spell. Harry Dunman introduced me, although he said...
Yeah?
Well, just that his name wouldn't be a good introduction to Tracy's old man.
He was probably right. Mr. Davidson, I'd like you to give Detective Constable Beach a statement.
All right, sir.
No?
Now. Good night, Mr. Davidson.
Hey, back again, sir.
And that's another damn stupid greeting, Mac. Where's Inspector Moss?
He's in the caretaker's office, sir. By the way, the Buddha Ilford has arrived from headquarters. He's in there, too.
Boss, thanks for the warning. What kind of a mood is he in?
Well, I've seen him happier, sir.
With Chief Superintendent Ilford, I can guess what that means. Thanks, Mac.
Ah, sir.
Yes, I agree, sir. That's the best way to handle them.
I feel.
But I'm afraid the rest won't be so easy.
He's on the line to the chief constable.
Oh. Yes, of course, sir. And Payne's here now. I'll tell him.
Oh, you'll do that, all right. Any luck?
And you'll
Not
tell
much.
the police committee people. Well, thank you, Chief Constable. Thank you. Good night. Well, Thane.
Sir?
The Chief Constable is postponing the exhibition. Project Community. Whose idea was it, anyway?
Community Relations Section, sir. Fostering police and public mutual understanding, the handbook calls it.
Damn the handbook. And damn community relations. What's the score at Derman's house?
It's a break-in, all right. But that's about all I'm sure of so far.
Yeah. Well, at least we've got the medical view of things now. Tell him, Moss.
A single stab wound, ankle downward, plenty of force. directly into the heart. Death would be instantaneous.
Time of death?
Oh, maybe an hour before he was found.
Yeah, well, it helps a little. Well, Thane, what's next?
There's a link with Gerald Walsh, sir. I think I'll talk with him in the morning.
Walsh. Then watch your step. One wrong word and he'll produce a lawyer from his pocket ready to sue.
I'll go easy, sir.
Yeah, good. Before I go, do I need to remind you about a certain international against West Germany in 2 days' time?
It was just a friendly, sir.
Like the last one?
Exactly. We'll have around 100,000 fans milling about. Just get this cleared up fast, Thane. I've enough worries as it is. Your wife's away right now, isn't she?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. No domestic distractions. That should help, anyway.
Yes, sir.
Goodbye, sir. Well, that could have been worse. I wonder how Mary would like being called a domestic distraction.
I can imagine.
Me too. Well, what now?
Derman's flat was raided. We'd better check his car showroom.
Oh, I'm ahead of you. It's being done.
Good.
And we've found Dorman's car outside here. The scientific boys are checking it.
How about the caretaker?
Oh, him. I leaned on him a bit. And now he admits there was a side door open right up until Francie Lang found the body.
What the hell was it? I thought the place was locked tight.
So did I. But it's an arrangement he had to make life easier.
You mean always?
Well, usually, right up till he went home. Saved him getting up to answer doorbells.
Damn.
You want to see him?
No, not now.
I've someone else waiting. Carol Jordan, the secretary of the Model Club. I had him brought in.
What's he like?
He's helpful enough. About 30, walks with a stick.
Oh, well, let's have him in.
All right. Mr. Jordan.
Yes?
In here, please. He works in an estate agency. I asked him to make a list of the club members who should have been here tonight.
Well, that should help.
Come in, Mr. Jordan.
Thank you.
Ah, Mr. Jordan, I'm Chief Inspector Thane.
Chief Inspector.
Sit down, won't you?
Thanks.
It's good of you to help like this.
I'm not sure that I can help yet. Here's the list, Mr. Moss.
Oh, thanks.
Everybody in the Model Club who should have been here tonight.
Let's have it, Phil.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Harry Derman isn't on this.
He didn't turn up. Not while we were here.
Well, when we found him, it looked like he'd been working on the track.
He must have come in later. And Harry was the type who'd always find something he reckoned wasn't right.
A fanatic for detail.
Yeah, something like that. But he was always willing to help out.
What about Roy Davidson? He's not on the list either.
Roy called off. He'd a date.
He wasn't near the hall?
No, not tonight. I'm positive.
I see. Cigarette?
I don't use them, thanks.
Lucky man. Mr. Jordan, we're looking for help. Any kind of help, including gossip.
About Derman?
That's right.
No, there's nothing.
Think about it.
No, there's nothing.
Mr. Jordan, we're talking about murder. And something is worrying you, isn't it?
Maybe you're right.
Well, let's have it.
About a month ago, Harry asked me to buy some electronic hardware for him.
Like what?
Transistor circuits, that kind of thing. He gave me the cash and I was to shop around, buy a few things in each place. Never a load at once. Then I was to forget about it.
And you did it for him?
Yes.
Did you ask him why?
Yes. Told me to mind my own damn business.
But you did it. So it couldn't be traced back to him. Why did he want it?
I don't know.
Oh, you just did what he told you, eh?
He said Harry was always willing to help out. Did he ever help you out?
Yes. I was in a car crash and afterwards I was stuck in hospital. I came out nearly broke. I'm married. I was tight for cash. Dubman agreed to help me.
How much?
£500 interest-free. Then later, when he asked me to get the electronic stuff, he said that if I did it, I could forget about the loan.
We'll want a statement, Mr. Jordan.
And a list of what you bought. That's all for now.
Right. I couldn't afford to turn him down, Chief Inspector.
We understand, Mr. Jordan.
Thanks. For that much.
Poor basket. You think it matters?
Your guess is as good as mine. Oh, there's not much else we can do for now, Phil. I'm going to grab a few hours' sleep.
And then?
Gerald Walsh. We'll try him at home.
I heard something about him. Oh? He's marrying again, and the woman used to be a TV actress or something.
Then I'll tie a ribbon round your neck and pretend you're a wedding present.
If you're selling, we don't want any.
Police. We'd like to see Mr. Walsh.
Oh, which one? I'm Frank Walsh.
Mr. Gerald Walsh?
My father. All right, come in.
Thanks.
We're having breakfast. Along here. The old man's half expecting you.
Oh? Why?
Oh, we can read. Derman's murder. It's in the papers. Here we are. Dad, visitors.
Ah, morning. Wait a minute. Chief Inspector Thane, right?
Yes?
Oh, don't look so surprised. We met once years back. You were a sergeant then. I don't forget faces. Who's this with you?
Detective Inspector Moss.
Oh, sit down, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like some coffee?
Well, that sounds a good idea.
Yeah, will you taste it? Low caffeine and mostly milk.
Well, I'm on a diet. I have a brand new duodenal ulcer.
So we all suffer.
Here you are.
Thank you.
It'll suit me. I'm in the ulcer club, too.
Then maybe we can exchange symptoms sometime.
And yours, Inspector Moss?
Thanks. You're here about Harry Darman, right?
Yes. We know you were partners once.
I had an interest in something he was doing. There's a difference.
Look, Dad, I think...
Frank, I'll handle this. Stay quiet. Go on, Thane.
Stage 1 is pure routine, Mr. Walsh. Your daughter, Tracy.
Tracy? What about her?
A student named Roy Davidson says she can confirm his movements last night.
A current, long-haired wonder. Yes, he brought her home last night. What's he got to do with things?
We're just checking. I'd like to see your daughter.
Tracy's still asleep.
Go and get her down, Frank. But Thane, you talk to her in front of me.
All right.
Is Davidson, is he in any kind of trouble?
He was in the same model engineering club as Durman. That's about all.
I knew that. Frank, I told you to get Tracy. Move.
All right, I'll get her.
Thane, I don't mind helping, but this family's not getting involved.
If you're worried about publicity...
Yes, I am. Wait a minute, there's something I want to get. This photograph. You recognize that?
I know the face, all right.
From the telly.
That's it. Ruth Blantyre, the actress. We get married next month.
Congratulations.
My first wife died 10 years back. I never thought of marrying again until I met Ruth, but I'm not having anything fouled up because a low-grade crook has got himself murdered.
Well, I wasn't exactly planning to march down the aisle with you, Mr. Walsh.
I'm just warning you. And I've the family to think about, too. Frank helps me run the clubs. He'll run the whole show someday. But he's still pretty wet behind the ears. Tracy's only 19, at art school. Why stir things up for them?
We can try to go along with you, but that depends how you play.
New deck, cut, shuffle, and off the top.
All right. Tell me about Harry Durman.
He wanted to turn an old cinema into a bingo hall, but he hadn't enough cash. I started with a 30% interest. Then he had problems.
So we propped him up again.
Correct. Where's your sister?
She's coming, Dad. Maybe we should have a lawyer along.
I'll decide that, son. Isn't it time you were leaving for work?
Yeah, well, I think
I want the overnight figures ready for when I get in. I can handle this end.
All right, if that's what you want. Goodbye.
Where were we?
Propping up Durman.
Yeah. So then I had 51% of the bingo operation. Durman ran it, of course.
Until the hall burned down.
That's when he tried to con me over the insurance money. He didn't get far, and any arrangement we had ended. Oh, yes, Tracy now.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, love.
Frank said police.
Chief Inspector Thane and Inspector Moss.
Hi.
How do you do?
Morning.
Have I done something?
No. But we think you can help us.
Take a look at the morning paper, Tracy. This story.
All right. Harry Durman. Dead. Oh, Dad.
Nice. All right. Tell her, Thane.
Roy Davidson says he was with you most of the evening.
Not most, all of it.
And then he delivered a package to Durman's flat.
Yes, I knew about that.
What time did you two get out here?
Oh, about midnight. Then Roy stayed for about an hour.
With Ruth and I. We'd spent the evening here.
Miss Walsh, did you see Durman at any time last night?
No, and Roy didn't leave me.
Then that's it.
I'll see you out. Same.
Thanks, Miss Walsh.
You're welcome. Any time.
Well, I won't say I'm sorry to see you go.
Most people feel that way. Oh, one thing I forgot to ask. How did the fire at the bingo hall start?
It's in the insurance report. There was an electrical fault.
Did that surprise you?
I don't think I know what you mean, Thane. Or like it.
It'll keep. Goodbye, Mr. Walsh. CID. Can I help you?
Good morning again, sir.
Hello, Mac. Much happening?
Just a few routine reports on your desk, sir.
Great.
Chief Inspector, I put Francine Lang in your office. He wants to see you about something.
Okay, but I've got to go out again to Derman's car showroom.
Right. A cuppa, sir.
After I've seen Sergeant Lang. And let me know if anything comes in from the Scientific Bureau.
I will that, sir.
Well, Francie, looking for me?
Yes, sir. I was, sir.
Relax, man. What's the problem? If it's another community relations notion, look...
It's not that, sir.
Well?
Look, sir, before I got this job, I spent a long time on the beat around here. I know people. Well, I thought maybe
Let me guess. You thought you'd maybe start a one-man murder inquiry. Don't be a damn fool, Francie.
I could ask around. I've contacts. Contacts who owe me favours.
Well, all right, ask around, but nothing more, understand?
Yes, sir.
On your way, then.
Thanks, sir. Thanks very much.
As long as he keeps his nose out of trouble. Thane?
Dan Lawrence, Scientific Bureau, Colin.
Oh, hello, Dan. Got something for us?
Oh, sometimes we've good days, sometimes we've bad.
Mm-hmm.
Your murder, for instance.
Well?
The weapon was wiped. No fingerprints.
Ah.
But like to visit me at headquarters in about an hour?
Why?
Wait and see. I might be right, I might be wrong.
Now, look, Dan...
About an hour, all right?
All right. Bye-bye. Dan. Had any sense I'd have gone up to the cottage with Mary. Now, what the heck's keeping that tea?
Hello, Colin. Welcome to the used car lot.
A joker out there tried to flog me a Mini.
The sales manager. Well, this is Derman's office, and I'm glad I came.
Meaning?
The safe.
Oh.
Those keys we took from Derman's body opened it. Careful now. There's a dummy back plate. It comes off like this. Take a look now.
Banknotes.
3,000 quid, I reckon.
And the rest?
3 bank books and a passport made out to a John Hawkins. You think he was planning a holiday?
The incognito kind. Anything else?
Uh-huh. Come through to the workshop. Found an old friend of yours. Hey! Shut that thing down!
Oh, hello, Mr. Thane. I had a feeling you'd show up.
Hello, Bootsy. How long since you got out this time?
About 6 months. I could get 2 years for a last job and then time off for good behaviour.
Good behaviour? Well, that must have made a change. And when did you start work here?
A couple of months back.
Bootsy Malloy and work don't exactly mix in my book.
Well, I'm a mechanic by trade. And there's this bird I've got now. Well, she wants a ring in her finger and me in a job, you know.
It happens to the best of us. Did Derman know you had a record?
Sure, but he needed a mechanic.
No other reason.
Hey, was he working a racket? Because if he was, I didn't get cut in it.
Where were you last night, Bootsy?
With my bird and her folks. And I slept there too. Would you believe, on my own on a flaming couch?
Well, it has changed, hasn't it?
Bootsy, how much do you know about Derman?
Nothing.
But your memory might improve.
If it did, what is it worth?
Bootsy, if it does, you'll just tell me, because if you don't, and I ever find out, your bird's going to be left chirping alone for a long time.
I was only joking.
Well, I wasn't. Phil, take care of things here. Then meet me in the canteen at headquarters. I've got to see Dan Lawrence.
Oh, best of luck. You know what I think of his mob. Give them a magnifying glass and they...
And they think they own the world, I know.
The Derman case, Colin. Mm-hmm. We drew a blank at the murder location. But Derman's apartment was different.
Fingerprints?
Oh, who the hell leaves fingerprints anymore? No. A sergeant of mine sniffed around that workshop. Wait now. Yeah. This box. He found these bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm. Electronic stuff.
Uh-huh. Miniaturized components. Then, well, you sent me a list of parts Derman had someone buy for him. They add up. With half that list of components you produced, an expert could build a gadget that would go through the average electronic security system like a dozen salts. Banks, high-class jewelry stores, safe deposits, take your pick.
You're sure, Dan?
Sure.
That is possible.
You mean there's maybe a big-time robbery scheduled?
Somewhere, sometime.
Great.
Now, something else. Tommy's car. We need that microscope. And this slide. Take a look.
Yeah, all right.
So, eh? What do you see?
A hair of some kind? Human, maybe.
Uh-huh. That's top-quality mink. Probably from a woman's coat. Narrow, irregular medulla, broad, well-defined cortex, and a trace of cosmetic powder clinging to the fibers. We found several of them in Darman's car. He kept expensive company.
Electronics, a mink coat.
And maybe a robbery coming up. Now, who breaks the glad news to Buddha Ilford?
You're the one who found out.
All right. I'm elected. It'll cost you a drink, and it's cheap at the price.
Well, the tea in this damn canteen gets worse every time. You could practically charge it with assault.
Well, it's wet. Would you like another sausage roll?
Oh, you must be joking. Hey, look, Colin. If this electronics notion of Dan's is right...
Then we've got trouble.
Well, maybe more than you reckon. I ran a wee check on Durman with records.
Mm-hmm.
They've had rumours linking him with Ziggy Fraser. The Ziggy Fraser.
Fraser? He's as mean as they come.
Ah, vicious enough to carry his own granny. But I don't know. See, his kind of operation is usually pretty simple. Hire some muscle and maybe hijack a load of whiskey. Things like that.
How strong are the rumours, Phil?
Well, reasonable. But I wouldn't expect Ziggy Fraser to confirm them.
No. He wouldn't tell you what time it was unless it suited. Phil, suppose Durman was building some box of tricks on a contract for someone like Fraser. Now, being killed might be, well, terminal bonus.
Mm-hmm. What about your mink coat? You think you'd a rich bird tucked away somewhere?
Durman?
Well, it was a notion. Well, you're a character in the arson squad. Offered me a couple of tickets for the Scotland-West Germany game just before you got here.
We should be so lucky.
Yeah, that's what I told them.
Why were you fraternizing with the arson squad?
I was asking about that bingo hall fire. They still say that the fire was rigged, and the insurance paid out 40,000 quid in the claim.
51% of it to Gerald Walsh.
Yeah, he probably used it as cigarette money.
Hey, finish that tea, Phil.
Well, where are we going?
Not we, you. That model club secretary, Carol Jordan, find out what he knows about mink.
And you?
Well, I'm going back to Millside to try to think my way through this. I need some answers before Buddha Ilford starts asking the questions. Hello, Mac.
Oh, hello, sir.
What's going on here, a union meeting?
No, nothing, sir. Except you've got a visitor, sir.
A visitor?
It's that actress woman, sir. Ruth Blantyre.
Now, she's maybe a shade past it, sir, but then she's about your age.
Detective Constable Beach, how would you like to be back on the beat?
Oh, sorry, sir, I only meant...
I know what you meant.
Well, mark you, now, she's still a damn good-looking piece of woman, sir, eh? Oh, by the way, her brother's with her. I put them in your office.
All right, Mac. What else has disturbed your peace?
Chief Superintendent Ilford phones. Oh, and Francie Lang is coming to see you.
Right. Get this shot of lectures back to work. Put some of them on trying to locate Ziggy Fraser.
Right, sir. Right, come on now, lads. You have. Move. Beach, you for a start.
All right, Sarge. Straight away, Sarge.
Miss Blantyre.
Your sergeant said it would be all right if you waited in here. You don't mind?
No.
Oh, this is my brother, Don.
Hello.
Mr. Blantyre.
This is totally Ruth's idea, not mine.
But I won't take more than a couple of minutes, I promise.
That's all right. Cigarette.
Thanks.
Not for me.
A light, Miss Blantyre.
Oh, thank you.
That's a handsome engagement ring.
Genuine diamond solitaire, like a rock. Like to guess its value.
Oh, Don, shut up.
Sorry.
Still, Chief Inspector, you know I'm engaged to Gerald Walsh.
Oh, yes.
And I know you've been to see him.
Did he tell you to come?
No. And I'd rather he didn't find out.
He needn't.
Well, thanks, Chief Inspector. Well, I was at Gerald's place last night when Tracy got back with the Davidson boy, and Well, I can confirm that. The other thing is... Look, Gerald is worried sick about all that's happening.
He didn't seem that way to me.
Gerald matters a lot, as far as I'm concerned.
Ruthie, for God's sake, get on with it.
If you're worried about publicity...
I'm not. Only about Gerald. Well, there's something Gerald won't tell you. But I'd rather you found out now than later.
Go ahead.
About a week ago, Gerald arrived at his club. You know, the Silk Slipper?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Harry Durman was waiting and tried to put the bite on Gerald for money. Gerald knocked him down and then threw him out.
Telling the world around, I'll murder that basket if he shows his face here again.
Could he have meant it?
No, he couldn't have been involved.
You say Durman tried to squeeze money out of Gerald Walsh. How?
I don't know. But I do know what Durman tried to do once before. Well, you know about the bingo club fire?
Yes.
Well, Gerald swears Durman must have started that fire. He'd been trying to get Gerald to either buy him out or sell the hall and take a loss. The place wasn't making money and Durman was in trouble. Well, Gerald wouldn't sell.
That's how I've heard it, too.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Thing?
It's Bootsy Malloy here, Mr. Thane.
Mm-hmm.
I've remembered a couple of things.
Good. No promises, but if they matter, you won't lose on it.
Well, just remember I'm doing this because of that bird of mine. And anything I did for Durman was straight, ordinary work, right?
If you say so. Let's have it.
Well, not over the phone.
Then where?
Right. Outside Kelvin Grove Art Galleries in 10 minutes. I'll be near the bus stop.
Why there?
I've a damn good reason. The Art Galleries, Mr. Thane, in 10 minutes.
Right, I'll be there.
You're busy, Chief Inspector.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Well, we'll go then. But, yes, I think I'll tell Gerald I was here.
He's a lucky man, Miss Blantyre. Luckier than he knows.
Thank you. Goodbye, then.
Goodbye.
Art Gallery's coming up, sir.
Right. Take it easy, Erickson. I don't want to scare him off.
Sir.
Mac, we'll cruise past the bus stop. Keep your eyes open for Malloy and for anyone else you might know.
Aye. Are you expecting trouble then?
No, just being careful.
Aye, that Malloy's the tricky one, and...
Hell, what's going on up there? Pull in, Erickson.
Well, that's the bus stop, sir.
But that crowd just beyond it. Come on, Mac.
Oh, it was awful, just awful.
Here, now, get through there,
Police! Oh, hell. No, I said get back there.
Oh, hello, sir.
Constable?
O'Hara, Marine Division, sir. I've sent for an ambulance, but, well, he's dead.
It's Bootsy Malloy, sir.
Aye. Get those people back, Mac.
Yes, right. Hey, come on now. This is not a free entertainment.
Well, Constable, what happened?
Well, sir, I saw it, sir. I was on the north pavement heading west.
O'Hara, you're not in the flaming witness box. Just tell it.
Well, he was crossing the road, sir. He was heading for the bus stop, and this van, it just came belting out of nowhere and ran him down. And then it kept on going.
Number?
Oh, I got it, sir. I passed it to Marine Division on my personal radio.
Good. That was probably stolen. What about the driver?
Well, there were two of them in the cab, sir, and I'd swear they were wearing stocking masks.
You're probably right.
The victim, sir, did you know him then?
I was coming to meet him.
Mr. Thane.
Yes, Mac?
Now, this lady here says she got to him first.
Aye, that's right. He was just gone when I reached him.
Did he say anything? Could be important.
I doubt that. He just muttered away about a bird. A wee bird. He wouldn't know what he was saying. There wasn't as much as a pigeon around.
He meant another kind of bird, Mrs. His girl.
Well, and she's the one we should be sorry for now, eh?
You're probably right. Yes, you're probably right.
Oh, Thane, come in.
Sir?
Hey, Colin. You had some bad luck.
Sit down, Thane. Thane, next time you arrange to meet an informer, let me know. I'll send out tickets.
Well, what's the score on it now, Colin?
A stolen van found abandoned. No trace of who was driving it.
But we can take it they were following Malloy, waiting their chance, hmm? What are you doing about it?
Trying to backtrack on Malloy's movements. And I've switched Phil Moss onto finding Malloy's girl. Every spare man I've got is trying to locate Ziggy Fraser.
You saw Gerald Walsh this morning?
Yes, sir. My report
I've
should have
seen it, yes. Thane, in case you don't know it, anyone trying to get a casino license in this country has to be as pure as an archbishop. For the moment, I'm more interested in the late Harry Durman for damn good reason.
We've found out a bit more about what Durman was working on, Colin. Ever heard of a ghost pulse unit?
No.
Well, how about a vibration desensor?
I said tell him never mind the trimmings.
That's right. Look, electronic security means that you can have a thing the size of a can of beans lying in the middle of a room. A thing so sensitive, it will react to the way air currents in the room are disturbed if someone as much as raises an arm. It's like my wife, damn sensitive to drafts. Now, the second type are vibrators. They're wired on a circuit to a door or maybe the windows and send out a pulse beat. Now, if anything upsets that beat, alarms start ringing. Follow me?
I think so.
Thane, we've had 2 reports of break-ins at electronic stores this morning. Both lost remote control units, like the kind this young fellow, Davidson, was returning to Derman.
Which means somebody needed them badly. Colin, I'm not sure about the remote control side, but I'm damn certain Derman was building a ghost pulse unit. A gadget that could snuff out an electronic pulse guard alarm system.
Yeah, we're warning all organizations using these alarm systems. Wait a moment. Yes? Yes, he's here. Hold on. Thane, it's for you. It's Moss.
Oh, thank you, sir. Hello, Phil.
Colin, I found that girl. Columbus Street. Do you know it?
Yes? Have you talked to her?
And told her about Malloy. She took it badly.
I'll come over. Thanks, Phil.
Well?
We found Malloy's girl, sir.
Then let's hope she knows something. Keep in touch, Thane. I'll be with Chief Constable sorting out crowd control for this damned football match. West Germany. Why couldn't we have played them out there?
This door, Colin. The bell doesn't work.
Around here, that's no surprise. When they pull this street down, only the rats will be sorry.
Aye. Her name is Rose Hodge. Well, watch out for her mother. She's a tartar.
You again?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Hodge, but that's how it is.
All right. Come in.
Thank you.
In here. Rose?
Yes, Ma?
The police. Again.
It's all right, Ma.
This won't take long, Rose. Bootsy told me about you.
Bootsy? If her dad and me had known more about him...
Oh, look, Mrs. Hodge, why don't you get lost for 5 minutes? Then you'll get rid of us in half the time.
If you think you
I
could
said
talk to
go
me...
away, Mrs. Hodge. For your daughter's sake, eh?
Oh, all right. But, Rose, you call me if they annoy you too much.
Yes, Ma.
Well, now.
She means well.
I know. Rose, Bootsy said he was going straight.
That's right. We were saving to get married.
How did he get that job at Derman Motors?
A friend told him about it.
What was his name, eh?
Oh, somebody called Fraser. Iggy or Ziggy Fraser, something like that.
Ziggy Fraser, I see. Yes, we know about him.
Why did they kill Bootsy, mister? Why did they do it?
Because Bootsy wanted to tell me something, Rose. Now, if I could find out what that something was, it would help a lot. Had he been worried about anything?
Yes. Something he had to do for a friend of Mr. Derman's, a special job.
Tell me about it.
Well, he had to go somewhere and repaint 2 big vans, paint them blue.
Blue?
Yes. And he was worried in case they were stolen, yet he said he had to do it in case he lost his job.
Did he tell you where the vans were, Rose?
No.
Anything else, Rose? Anything at all?
No. I'm sorry.
Oh, never mind. You've done fine.
Well, that's that. Ziggy Fraser.
And 2 large blue vans.
Loot carrying for the use of. And there's her car. Uh-oh, look who's coming. Your friend, Sergeant Blank.
Hello, sir. I heard you were here. Hey, have you got a moment?
Yes, I suppose so, Francie.
I hear you're looking for Ziggy Fraser.
You hear a hell of a lot, Sergeant.
I think I can lay Ziggy Fraser on a plate for you, sir. I've a contact who owes me a favour.
Can you trust him?
No, but he knows I'd beat his ears off if he tried anything. He says he'll be able to tell me where Fraser is tonight.
Well, go carefully and do nothing on your own.
Right, sir. Yeah, there's something else.
Well?
The word is Harry Derman was shopping around for some warehouse space near the docks. Well, then he stopped asking. It looks like he got fixed up.
How the hell are we supposed to compete?
Thanks, Francie. But go carefully. I mean it.
Ah, well, I know what Ziggy Fraser's like. Goodbye, sir.
Bye, Francie.
See you.
Into the car, Phil.
Right.
Where to, sir? Oh, just give me a minute.
Oh, Francie Lang, wandering around on his own, in a uniform.
And he comes up with almost as much as us. Phil, how did you get on when you saw Carol Jordan?
Oh, our model club secretary. Well, I asked him about Dermot like you wanted, and he laughed at the notion of Dermot having any kind of woman friend, let alone one with a mink coat.
Why?
Dermot was more the other way inclined. Oh, Jordan had company when I found him. Tracy Walsh and her hairy boyfriend.
Davidson? Why?
Don't ask me. But they looked worried. They took off quickly enough when I arrived. The girl made some excuse about... Hey.
What?
She said she had to get to Kelvin Grove Art Galleries, Colin. Some student assignment she had there.
And Bootsy said...
You were to meet him at Kelvin Grove Art Galleries, for a reason.
Driver?
Yes, sir.
Go to the Silk Slipper, Gerald Walsh's club.
I know it, sir. Do we have a reason?
Well, that depends on Walsh, Phil. Let's find out.
Good afternoon, Chief Inspector. What brings you to the Silk Slipper? Don't tell me you've a gambling instinct.
The instinct, but not the means. I'd like to see your father, Frank.
In the mood he's in, you're welcome. I'll take you to him.
Thanks.
Now, the club's quiet just now, of course. The real action doesn't start till around midnight.
I see. Were you here last night?
Meaning?
Just that.
I was here. Till around 1 a.m., either in the office with Don Blantyre or out front giving the punters the happy smile bit.
And they'd remember.
Don will, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
In here.
Oh, Dad. No, you two again.
Just briefly, Mr. Walsh.
Good. You've arrived in the middle of an unplanned family gathering. Let's see. Well, you've already met Ruth and her brother.
That's right.
Hello.
Chief Inspector.
Hi.
Well, Chief Inspector.
I'd like to talk to you alone for a minute, Mr. Walsh.
All right. Ruthie.
What, Gerald?
That mink of yours. Do you have to use it as a foot mat? It worries me.
Oh, it's slipped off his chair again.
Well, I'll get it. No.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Miss Blantyre. I kind of tripped.
No harm done.
Here's your mink.
Thanks. I bought this myself, so it matters.
Phil, stay with them and check out the points I asked about.
Oh, yes, sure. Right, Colin.
Well, take a walk round the tables, Thane. For me, it's a kind of dawn patrol. Well, now you've had the guided tour. Roulette, baccarat, you name it, we've got it.
This painting on the wall, did Tracy do that?
Yeah, she's pretty good, eh?
Yes, she is. She was at the art galleries earlier, wasn't she?
Right. Working on a project for art school. Look, Thane, let's get to business. Ruthie came to see you.
Yes.
What she told you was true. Dermot did come to see me, and I threw him out.
Why did he come?
I don't know for certain. I came into the club, found him, and told him to get out. He made some noises about letting me in on some deal, but after the last time...
You weren't interested.
He was lucky I heaved him out of the door and not through a window. But I didn't see him after that, or kill him.
Mr. Walsh, how long have you held a gaming license?
You can look it up. If you're interested, the man who checked me out when I applied was your boss, Chief Superintendent Ilford.
That's a fair recommendation.
Maybe one worth remembering. Finished?
For now. I'll just collect Inspector Moss, and we'll be on our way.
That's the first piece of good news I've had today.
Anything on the radio while we were gone, Erickson?
Nothing for us, sir.
Right. Back to Millside.
Well, I got it, Colin.
Mink?
Aye. It was an interesting fall.
With a soft landing on Ruth Blantyre.
Oh, I enjoyed that.
You're easily satisfied.
Well, it gave me the chance to get a sample from her coat. A few hairs for the Scientific Bureau's comparison microscope.
Good.
I suppose they match the ones from Dermot's car.
And we're in business, Phil. Except
what?
I like her.
Oh, what the hell's that got to do with it?
Nothing, Phil. Nothing at all.
Millside CID, Inspector Moss.
Headquarters on the line, Inspector. Inspector. It's Chief Superintendent Ilford for Chief Inspector Thane.
Right, he's here. Hold on. Colin. Mm-hmm. It's Bud Ilford for you.
All right. What time is it?
After 9. 4 hours we've just been hanging around here.
Like birds in the wilderness. Here, let's have the phone. Thane?
Read that the operation order I put out, Thane.
The surveillance plan, sir, yes.
Yeah, codename Operation Mink. Special watches on selected high-risk premises with electronic security devices.
It looks comprehensive enough.
No, it isn't. But it's the best we can do.
It's a good code name, sir. Operation Mink.
Is it?
Hmm.
I've just heard from Dan Lawrence's people. Those hair samples you sent me, Thane.
Mink?
They were tarted up rabbit.
Rabbit.
Rabbit. 4 legs, big ears.
Oh.
Somewhat down the social scale.
Operation Bunny Rabbit, sir.
I don't think that's funny.
No, sir.
Sergeant Lang was supposed to have a lead to that Ziggy Fraser.
Well, we're waiting to hear from him, sir.
Yeah. And I'll be waiting to hear from you, Thane. Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir.
Operation Bunny Rabbit. Always the diplomat, aren't you?
Oh, belt up, Phil.
Still, it means we don't necessarily get the truth from Ruth Blantyre and the Walsh family. I think they're getting edgy.
So is Buddha Ilford.
Aye.
I'll get it. Thane?
It's Francie Lang, sir. I'm in a phone box in Fidra Street. Can you get down fast?
Fidra Street, Phil?
I know it.
Uh-huh.
Ziggy Fraser's here, near the West Quayside. I saw him going into an old warehouse yard a couple of minutes back, and at least another 3 Neds with him.
We're on our way, Francie. Now stay put till we get there, understand?
Right, sir.
Phil, 2 cars, stuff them full of men.
2 cars it is.
And tell them to get a move on. I don't want to lose Fraser.
Very nearly there, sir. Next turning's Fidra Street.
Slow down, then.
Right, sir. Second car's right behind us, Colin.
West Quayside's at the far end. Oh, there's the phone box.
Oh, it's empty.
Damn, I told him to stay put.
Sir, there's something happening further down. In the middle of the street.
I see them.
Well, somebody's been thumped.
Put down, Erickson, hard.
They've seen us. They're running.
Now, Erickson.
Colin, it's Francie Lang.
Get after them, all of you.
Right. Come on, lads.
Right this way, some of you.
Right, sir.
Right. Come on.
Erickson, give me a hand to ease him over.
Right, sir.
Oh, hell. It's a mess.
Francie. Francie.
I fouled it up, sir.
Erickson, radio for an ambulance.
Right. We'll get you fixed up, Sarge. Don't worry.
That'll be right.
What happened, Francie?
Well, they were starting to leave. I tried to follow Fraser, but I made a mess of it.
You did fine, Francie.
There were near a dozen of them. A couple with guns.
You sure?
Sure enough to think they were going to shoot me. And that swine Ziggy Fraser said, why waste a bullet?
Ambulance on its way, sir.
Good.
And Inspector Moss is coming back, sir. He's got one of them.
Right, you stay with Francie.
I'll do that, sir.
Come on, you. Move it.
Don't shove, Mike.
This is a lot, Colin. The rest get away.
Let's see what kind of animal it is.
Who you calling an animal, huh? Oh, he hit me. You saw that?
Me? I didn't see anything.
What's your name?
Get stuffed.
Well, that's a nice name. Suits you.
Name. When it comes to attempted murder, I like to know who I'm charging.
Oh, here, steady on.
Attempted murder as a starter. There's Bootsy Malloy and Harry Dermond to follow.
Oh, look, no by me. I was with Ziggy Fraser, right?
I don't want a speech, just your name.
Rogan, Joe Rogan. Hey, look, maybe I thumped your sergeant a couple of times, but everybody was doing
Rogan,
that.
I'm going to caution you.
Oh, look, forget it. I know the drill, eh?
We're listening, Rogan.
Well, I got the word, see.
From Ziggy Fraser.
That's right. He was hiring bodies for a job, and that was a couple of weeks back.
What kind of job?
Well, Ziggy doesn't play that way. But it's big and soon. He needed a dozen of us. The pay was 2,000 quid.
That's good pay for hired muscle.
And tonight?
Well, it's just a wee talk. Like...
Just to make sure you knew about Bootsy Malloy.
Aye.
Look, I want names, Rogan. Every man who was there tonight.
No for me, mister. Look, you know about Ziggy. The word suit you want him, but that's my lot.
Well, I could make you.
I don't want to end up
Rogan,
dead.
Ziggy isn't running the show, is he?
No, it's a contract job laid on. Look, we get the stuff and the character are dreamed up at Joe pays out. That's straight honest it
Book
is.
him, Phil. Attempted murder.
Oh, wait a minute.
up. How's Francie Lang?
I'll let a hospital doctor answer that one. Meet me at headquarters, Phil.
Right. Come on, you.
All right, make my head up.
Guns. With Fraser's crowd, I suppose we should have expected it.
And they'll use them.
Yeah, we'll be ready for that.
There's one thing I'd like done, sir.
Well?
A 24-hour surveillance on the Walsh family.
The whole damn tribe, I haven't the men.
Then Gerald Walsh on his own.
Well, all right if it keeps you happy. Come. Oh, Moss, we're expecting you.
Sir?
How's Sergeant Lang?
Not too good. Broken ribs, fractured left arm, internal injuries. They'll have to operate.
Lang's tough.
Yeah, if he wasn't, he'd be dead by now.
Yeah, well, I'll go to the hospital in the morning. Thane, what's your plan?
Keep searching for Ziggy Fraser.
Yes. This warehouse at the West Quayside, the one Fraser's been using. Any luck there?
Some scraps of electrical wiring in a hut, some blue paint stains in the yard, that's all so far.
It's probably where Butcher Malloy resprayed those vans. The fingerprint boys are trying the place now.
Yeah, 2 large vans. Well, Thane.
I'll wait till morning, then try Malloy's girl again, sir.
Yeah, there's not much else left, is there? Well, get some sleep, both of you. Just leave me to my football fans. Damn all internationals. We'll probably lose anyway.
Sit down, Chief Inspector.
Thanks.
My mother's out.
That should make it easier.
She means well.
I know. Rose, just one question. Did Bootsy ever mention the art galleries to you?
Well, we went there once because it was raining.
Huh?
We didn't bother with the pictures, just looked at the stuffed animals and had a laugh about one of the Egyptian mummies. Bootsy said it looked the way my dad does after a few beers. Then, well, it stopped raining, so we left.
Was there anyone there he knew, Rose?
Well, yes, there was. A big grey-haired man and a girl who... Well, she could have been his daughter. Mind you, they walked right past like we didn't exist.
You mean Bootsy didn't speak to them?
No. But he did say the man was a big-shot gambler and that...
What?
I'm trying to remember. It was something about the man having a business deal lined up with Mr. Durman. But he didn't tell me the man's name or anything.
Would you know the man and girl again, Rose?
I think so. Mr. Thane, does it help? About who killed Bootsy, I mean.
It might, Rose. I think, yes, I think I'll have a look at the art galleries myself.
Can I help you, sir?
Just having a look round. It's a few years since I was here.
Well, you'll find some changes in the galleries, ain't you?
I can imagine. Someone told me there were art students working here.
There's usually one or two, sir. I think we've a girl in the Dutch room, copying their Rembrandts or something. I'm never sure what they kids are up to.
Thanks. Thanks very much. Dutch room. Oh, aye, here we are. Hello, Tracy.
Oh, hi.
And you're here too, Roy, are you?
Well, you get around.
This is hardly your scene, is it, Chief Inspector?
No, not really.
So it's business. You being here, I mean.
Mm-hmm. This your canvas, Tracy?
Yeah, a project, a class assignment.
It's not bad. You're in good company, of course. Rembrandt. Man in armour, isn't it?
That's what it says on the label.
It's chocolate box stuff.
Well, I'm no judge. How long have you been working on this assignment, Tracy?
Oh, a month or so. When I get time between lectures.
People looking at her as if she was an animal in a zoo.
That's why Roy comes, to cheer me up.
Does your father ever call in?
He has a couple of times. Duty visits. Poor Daddy.
Well, he's pretty proud of you.
Suppose he is. Are you trying to say something, Chief Inspector?
Maybe.
Like what?
Well, trouble has a habit of snowballing. Makes sense to get rid of it when you can.
Get rid of what?
Roy.
You both knew Harry Durman. And, of course, Tracy, Harry Durman knew your father.
My father's got nothing to do with...
With what?
Oh, tell him, Roy. Let's get it over with.
Tracy.
Tell him, Roy, please.
All right. Look, I helped Harry Durman with a problem. He offered me 50 quid if I would.
What kind of a problem?
How to make chemical smoke pellets. Small ones. He said he needed them as a gimmick in a model engineering display.
Did you believe that?
I am on a student grant, Chief Inspector. I believe 50 quid. Well, I asked one of my professors at university, and he turned it into a class project.
And you made the smoke pellets?
Well, the class did. We tried them out. One pellet will blanket a fair-sized room.
And Derman got them?
Yes. Then, well, after he was killed, we heard how Carol Jordan had been buying electronic gear.
And you began to sweat?
Yes.
And you've no idea why he really wanted those pellets?
If he had, he'd tell you.
All right. You'll both stay quiet about this for now, eh? I'll talk to you again.
Anything you say, Chief Inspector. Roy just wants a way out of this mess.
Chief Inspector Thane?
Mm-hmm.
I'm John Randolph, security officer of the galleries. Everything all right in there?
I've no problems.
Oh. No, one of our attendants is an ex-policeman, recognized you.
I see.
And we've just had a warning from our local CID people to be on our toes.
Then I'd just stay that way.
Chief Inspector, if there's any kind of security problem here, I really must be told.
You will be, Mr. Randolph, if there is.
Chief Inspector...
I'm sorry, Mr. Randolph. I've got to go. I have a colleague to meet. He's, researching another form of art.
Red 9. You would have lost again, Inspector Moss.
Now, that's the story of my life. I need a system.
Roulette's a gamble. The wheel has no memory, Inspector.
I'm hoping you have, Frank.
I thought you came here to see my father.
And he's out.
Oh, well, keep it short, Inspector. I've got work to do. Tonight's going to be a busy one when those football fans come back into town. Win, lose, or draw, they'll have money to burn.
And you're ready to stoke the fire. All right, it's more curiosity. Your old man says he met Chief Inspector Thane a long time ago.
But he didn't say how.
No.
Oh, that's typical. Yeah, it was years back. A raid on a poker game in a private club. There was a minor rumpus, and someone said the old man thumped a cop, but it was straightened out.
I see. Oh, well, now I can tell him. This is quite an operation you've got here. How much more of it will you have to carry once your father remarries?
Oh, no more than now. Gerald Walsh isn't the type who eases out gently.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he thinks I'm still wet behind the ears.
So at his age, with his money, he could pack it in and go abroad.
You tell him. Anyway, Ruth wouldn't want it.
Do you mind him remarrying?
Everybody has his own life to lead.
Oh, that's true.
Tell my father that, too.
Mm-hmm. Hard to get along with, is he?
Ask me another time, Inspector, but not now. Don Blantyre and I are going to the game with him tonight, and I've a load of work to finish before I can get out of here.
Haven't you finished that report yet, Beach?
Oh, look, Sarge, it's complicated.
Look, I don't care if it's double-jointed, laddie. Get it finished.
Hey, here, what's going on anyway, Sarge? I mean, the Chief and Inspector Moss, well, have been going in and out of here like yo-yos all day.
Aye. Now, what's the time now?
7 o'clock. That's an hour till kick-off at Hampden.
Oh, good evening, sir.
Anything new, Mac?
No, sir. Well, those Scientific Bureau have been trying to get you.
Get someone to find me some tea, Mac. I need it.
I make that too.
Oh, hello, Phil.
Ever had to fight your way through a mob of football?
Rough.
The whole city's emptying out towards Hampden.
I will come through to my room, Phil. Oh, and Mac.
Yes, sir.
Hurry that tea, will you?
Right, chap.
Well, how do you get on, Colin?
Not much that matters. I looked in at the hospital, though.
Fancy lying?
Aye.
How is he?
They've operated, they say he's comfortable.
Ah, the usual flannel.
Sit down, Phil. I've solved one mystery. That story Frank Walsh told you about when I first met his father.
Oh, the poker game raid.
It's been on my mind. Well, it came to me.
But Walsh?
No. Why we raided the game. Our inspector had a tip a man he wanted would be there. Ziggy Fraser, Phil.
Fraser?
He was minor league then, but we wanted him.
Not as much as we want him now.
No. Well, I better see what the Scientific Bureau want. Hello.
Yes, sir?
Get me Superintendent Lawrence at headquarters, please.
Right away, sir.
Did you know they've got a colour TV set rigged up in the radio room?
For the game?
Uh-huh.
Oh, here, there's a notion. Come in.
There's your tea, sir.
Oh, good.
I put them on the desk, Mac.
Right, here, sir.
Thanks.
Great.
All right, now.
Warm and wet. Oh, I needed this.
You're not alone. Ah. Thane.
Your call to Superintendent Lawrence, sir.
Oh, thanks. Hello, Dan.
I'm glad you called back, Colin. I have, a wee surprise for you.
Not again.
About mink.
Now, look, Dan.
I mean it. I was talking to an electronics buffin and, mentioned those mink hairs, a bit of a joke.
Some joke.
Yeah, well, he didn't think it was funny either. You won't believe this, Colin. But, well, wear a thick fur coat with mink the ideal, and you'll beat almost any electronic vibration sensor system.
Say that again.
A gang in France did a couple of major jewel raids that way. The far damps down air movement enough to let a man reach a sensor unit without being detected. Then, well, he can bring it out of action. That's all.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks very much.
What was that about?
We could be looking for a Ned in a mink coat.
You're kidding.
That's what Dan reckons.
Well, now there's something.
Phil, Walsh's first wife, now suppose she had a mink coat, and he kept it after she died.
Could be. But how did we find out for sure without a search warrant?
And who in his right mind's going to give us one on what we've got?
That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Finish that tea, Phil.
Eh?
Let's go and watch the TV.
Well, now there's a good idea.
Well, Loeb was near enough the last time.
Not at all. He should have had the
Sit
ball
down,
over
Mike. Your head's in the way.
of the plate.
And stop your nattering.
Roy Morgan lining up to take the corner. Tremendous encouragement from the fans here. Right-footed, a high ball away to the far side. A header! Oh, the ball's headed again!
Sir. Well, what is it, Owen?
Sarah Sergeant.
Oh, right. Phil, outside.
Oh, hell. All right.
5 minutes gone.
Well?
Message from headquarters, sir. Red priority, Operation Mink.
Oh, thanks. Right.
Oh, what is it?
Read for yourself.
Chief Inspector Thane to Shaw Castle, Lomond. Operation Mink. Rendezvous en route with county car and civilian expert John Randolph. Who's Randolph?
The security man at the art galleries.
Loch Lomond? What's Shaw's Castle?
Well, it's an old mansion out there. I've heard the name, that's all.
I've got the duty car out front, sir.
Let's go, Phil. Operation Mink.
Right in the middle of an international. And when we're winning for once.
Then, can you tell me what's happened?
Look, Mr. Randolph, I don't know a damn thing yet.
Not me. About anything.
You don't? My God, this is like a nightmare.
What's special about Shaw Castle?
The barrel collection, man.
Say that again.
The barrel collection. You've heard of it, I presume.
We've heard of it.
All right, Mr. Randolph, go on.
Thousands of works of art. Chinese porcelain, Etruscan bronze, Renaissance stained glass, Gobelin tapestries. Then the painting.
Oh, look, we don't need a catalogue. What the hell was it doing at the Shaw Castle place, and what's happened to it?
Well, I don't know. Yet. Except that the castle's been raided and part of the collection's gone. Then, do you know how much the barrel collection's worth?
No.
A minimum. An absolute minimum of £30 million.
30 million?
It could be more. How do you price something that starts off with a job lot of 22 Pegard originals?
But what was it doing at Shaw Castle?
Sir William Burrell gifted the collection to Glasgow.
Well, that was a long time ago.
About 30 years ago. With £500,000 to build a gallery for its display.
And the experts have been quarreling ever since about where to build it, I know.
Well, it wasn't so simple. The deed of gifts said the gallery had to be located where the collection would be safe from air pollution. We had to keep the stuff everywhere, see. 8,000 pieces, from full-size doors from castles to things the size of thimbles.
And Shaw Castle?
Well, the gallery's building now. Shaw Castle's become an assembly point for the collection, cataloguing, cleaning work.
And your security?
Maximum. Electronic surveillance, guards.
Now we know.
Thane, if the police knew anything like this might happen...
We'll worry about that one later. Let's get to Shaw Castle first.
Which of you is Chief Inspector Thane?
I am, sir.
I'm Superintendent Doherty, County Police. Man, we've a right foul up going. Did you bring this gallery security character?
That's him. His name's Randolph. The other one is Inspector Moss.
Right. Mr. Randolph.
Yes?
You and Moss better go straight into the castle and try to tell us what's missing.
All right. Mr. Randolph, this way.
Well, I'll tell you how it stands. There were 2 night security men on duty, and 2 of our own county cops as a backup, though we were told the place was as safe as a fort.
Famous last words.
Aye. Tonight, the automatic fire alarm began ringing. There was smoke, thick smoke, and the telephone lines went dead. While they were still trying to work that out, the guards were surprised and clubbed down. They, well, it sounds daft, but the guards say one of the men
was wearing a mink coat.
Yes.
How did they get in, Superintendent?
God knows. But they went through the electronic locks, the lot, like they were butter. Afterwards, well, the guards had been tied up. One got free and raised the alarm. Come and see the rest for yourself. Over here. That wee tube on the table. We found a few of them. Chemical smoke bombs.
It's like a small transistor radio.
Remote control.
Now, well, that ties in, too.
Somebody wanders in with a bag of tools and says he's been sent to do a job. Nobody bothers to check, and he leaves these behind.
Then they raid the place, load up, and get away. My guess is they'd used 2 vans.
And they did. A farmer saw the vans leaving. Didn't think anything about it till later, of course. Here's Randolph coming back. Now we'll know the worst.
Well, Mr. Randolph?
Colin, he thinks about £2 million worth has gone.
2 million?
It's difficult to be exact. All I've got is a master list of numbered packing cases.
2 million is exact enough.
Even a high-powered Ned can't fence old masters like there were crates of whiskey.
You're wrong. Major masterpieces couldn't be marketed. But there are hundreds of other pieces, smaller things. They'd be snapped up in the open market abroad. No way of proving they were stolen.
What's that you've got?
Vase. Early Ming. Must have dropped it.
Mr. Randolph, how many people knew the bottle collection was being gathered here?
Department staff, 1 or 2 outside experts, art experts.
Any chance one of them might give a lecture to students afterwards on what they'd seen?
Art students? Well, we wouldn't encourage it.
And they'd know the security layout here, maybe even mention it?
They are eminent men.
They're the worst.
Well, can't you imagine it? A lecturer letting his students into some little secret.
I don't know.
What's in your mind, Thane?
A girl, Superintendent, a girl. And a football match.
The Walshes, Thane. We tried to keep tabs on Gerald Walsh, but we lost him. One of those pre-match traffic jams.
But afterwards?
Here's the timetable. See for yourself.
Thank you, sir. Gerald Walsh and Ruth Blantyre drive up to the Silk Slipper Club at 11:30 p.m.
The first time after the game that we knew where he was.
Tracy Walsh and Roy Davidson surface about the same time at Walsh's house. And that's it.
I know. You wanted surveillance on the whole Walsh tribe. If I'd done what you wanted... Not that I'm making an apology, Thane.
I understand, sir.
I don't think that helps. Come. Hello, Moss. Come in.
So?
Any luck, Phil?
On the nose with the second of those art experts I tried.
One of the people who knew about Shaw Castle and the barrel collection.
That's right, sir. A name of Jeremy Garrick. He admits he gave a lecture to art students afterwards.
And spelled out most of the security arrangements.
Aye. He thought it gave the lecture some colour.
Yeah, I'll give him colour. What about the Walsh girl?
She was one of the students.
Phil.
Aye?
Go out to Walsh's home, collect his daughter, and take a look through the wardrobes.
Am I looking for a mink coat?
Well, that's all you tell her, Phil. Then bring her straight back to the Silk Slipper Club. I'll be there with Walsh.
Mr. Walsh will see you in his office, Chief Inspector. If you'll come with me...
Don't bother, I know the way. Beach, sir, come on. Here we are.
Back again, Thane.
That's right.
Hello, Chief Inspector.
Miss Blantyre.
Who's this with you?
Detective Constable Beach, sir. About your daughter, sir.
Tracy?
Has something happened to her?
No, but I'm having her brought here.
Your what?
Having her brought here. Has she been with you any part of tonight?
Wait a minute. What's he doing?
Just taking a shorthand note, sir. Did she tell you where she'd be this evening?
Thane, what is going on?
Did she tell you?
Well, she said something about going to a disco club with Roy.
If that long-haired creep has landed in some kind of a jam...
Gerald, let them tell it.
All right.
Go on, Chief Inspector.
Thanks. Walsh, your daughter and Davidson held back information concerning the murder of Harry Derman. We now have reason to believe they may also be able to help us in inquiries into another matter.
What other matter?
A major robbery tonight.
Thank God help you for this.
When did you last see your daughter?
At home this evening before I went to the International.
Did you go with him, Miss Blantyre?
No, Frank and my brother did. I stayed at the house. Tracy left about an hour later.
Then what did you do?
Well, eventually I went into town to meet Gerald for a meal. Frank and Don were there too, like we'd arranged, and... Well, Gerald turned up eventually.
We got separated in the crowd outside the ground before the game began. You could have lost a regiment in that kind of crush. And then I had problems getting back to town afterwards.
But Don Blantyre and your son didn't stay with you after the meal.
They went out to a party somewhere. What is all this got to do with Tracy?
I like to place people. Tell me, Mr. Walsh, how well does she know Ziggy Fraser?
Like I knew Harry Derman. But Tracy hasn't even heard of him.
Tracy hasn't heard of who, Dad?
Tracy, you all right?
Oh, she's fine.
Said pushed you
Don't
around.
play the heavy, Dad. Not right now.
Hello, Ruth. Tracy, we were worried.
I'm all right.
Phil, close the damn door.
We're sorry. Colin, we didn't find it.
Oh, thanks, Phil.
Dad, I asked already. Who's Ziggy Fraser?
Just a man.
Ever heard of him, Miss Walsh?
No. He sounds like a footballer.
Well, he isn't.
Thane, what were you looking for in my house? I want to know.
Did your first wife own a mink coat, Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Dad, they looked in that wardrobe, but the coat, it isn't there. Or anywhere else.
I know that. I sold the thing. Didn't I tell you?
No.
Well, I did.
I don't mind. I just didn't know.
Miss Walsh, where were you tonight?
At a disco in town with Roy.
Thank God for that. Tracy, they say you and Roy knew something about Derman's murder.
Well, we were going to tell you, Dad.
You were going to tell me. All right, then. What more do you want?
We're finished for now.
And you just walk out after searching my house, dragging my daughter here?
I didn't say it was over, Mr. Walsh, not for a minute. Phil? Beach? Sir? Come on. It's dark enough out there.
How long have we been waiting now?
20 minutes. Still, give them time.
Ah, but for what, sir?
At Beach. Just watch Walsh's car like you were told.
Sorry, sir.
Erickson.
Yes, sir.
When he leaves, we follow. But not too close, understand?
I've done it before, sir.
You know, I'd like a nice steak and chips.
Well, that wouldn't do your ulcer much good.
That'd be worth it.
Sir, coming out the club. That girl.
That's Tracy Walsh. And the soft hat and raincoat, that's her father.
They're getting in the car, sir.
All right, Erickson. Don't lose them.
I won't, sir.
Still heading south, Colin. Much more of this and we'll be out of town.
I know, but where's he going? Doesn't make sense.
He's got a fright there. You know, he hit that truck. Drives like a ruddy woman.
He does.
Erickson, take him now.
Right, sir.
Come out of there, Miss Blantyre. You too, Tracy.
Well, we tried, I suppose.
Yes, you had me fooled for a bit. Where's Gerald?
I don't know.
And no use asking me either.
We were just going out for a drive together. No harm in that, is there?
Tracy, did your father tell you there had been a robbery?
He said something about it.
The Burrell collection, Tracy, at Shoal Castle. You had a lecture about it, hadn't you?
Yes, but
And about the security system?
But I didn't talk about it, except...
At home. Now, look, girl, your pal's old friend Ziggy Fraser had the contract for the raid, and Harry Derman was working on it when he was killed.
Gerald hasn't done anything.
Then why this little charade?
Because he was worried sick over your thinking Tracy was involved. He seemed to think there was a way he could stop that.
It's true. That's why he said...
Said what?
Nothing.
Tracy, he's dealing with a bunch who've murdered. Your father's in danger, even if Don and Frank are there.
You can't mean that. Not Don and Frank. They couldn't.
We don't know. Do you?
They were all at that football match.
Can you prove it?
Gerald was. He met some people he knew. A couple of them came back to eat with us.
Then why the hell didn't he tell me that earlier?
What did you ask?
Chief Inspector, do you really think he's in danger?
Yes.
He wanted the keys for the old bingo hall.
Why?
Frank has been there lately.
I see. Beach? Sir? Stay with the ladies and see them home. We'll radio for help as we go. Good, sir.
Over here, Thane.
You made good time, sir.
And so did you. Hello, Moss.
Aye, sir.
Well, I've got the old bingo hole cordoned off, like you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
There are lights moving inside. I have a full squad waiting. We can move straight in.
Maybe we should know what we're going into first, sir.
Hmm? Yes, take Moss with you.
Yes, sir.
Right, well, I've armed a few men just in case. Better take this revolver with you.
Yes, sir.
And go carefully.
Go carefully, he says. I can't see a damn thing, it's so dark.
Well, this lane should take us round the side of the hall.
What the hell?
Oh, it's a cart, relax. This is the side of the hole, all right.
No, what's left of it. It must have been quite a fire.
There's not much more than a shell left. Hey, wait a minute, that door.
It's an emergency exit or something.
Now, well, let's try it.
Oh, it's jammed with debris.
No, wait a minute. Just a bit more of a heave. Oh, that's done it.
Well, if they didn't hear that, they're all stone deaf.
Well, it's still quite enough. All right. We can squeeze in.
Oh, what a shambles.
Looks like half the roof fell in. Hey, wait. On ahead there.
Well, yes, that's it then. 2 big vans. And look at the size of the container truck.
They're loading it. Now, we can get a bit nearer.
How did they get these trucks in here?
Well, there was a car park at the back of the hall, then that hole in the rear wall.
Tarpaulin screen. That's clever. So they'll load the stuff onto the container truck.
Our next stop anywhere. 7 men loading.
The hired help. What about the ones we really want?
Up there, Phil, behind the balcony. There's a light there.
The manager's office, maybe?
Oh, well, let's find out. Stairs should be around here. Ah, here we are. Quietly now, Phil.
Oh, you don't need to tell me. I don't want to end up like Francie Lang.
Damn fool. You're the fool for coming here, sticking your nose in, right, Sticky? Nobody invited you, Gerald. Now you're just a problem.
Here, Phil.
I see them. It's nice of them to leave the office door open.
Try to get closer.
The police think Tracy was involved. We even think I was in this. And I'd say that was your worry. Don.
Yes, Frank.
How much longer should that loading take?
Finished any minute, but you can't leave antiques around like callbacks.
You get better money for them, too.
Ziggy, you'll never fence this stuff.
Not my worry, Gerald, old pal. Your bright boy's son has that organized. Don's got a few contacts.
That's right, we can cope, so relax, Gerald.
Relax? Damn you,
Yeah, that shuts his
Phil,
mouth for a
he's back.
spell. Maybe you shouldn't have hit him so hard.
Well,
Phil, get back out to Ilford. He can get his squad in the same way we came.
all right. Hey, what about you?
I'll keep them occupied here. Play for time. You heard Blantyre, they're almost ready to go.
Right.
Look, Phil, take this with you.
Oh, your gun? But you'll need it.
It wouldn't help me, not now.
All right. Good luck.
Hello, Ziggy. Thane, we've been looking for you.
My God!
Steady, you fool. Keep clear of him.
Little man with a big gun. That's your scene, all right, Ziggy.
We'll need to get out.
Well, shut his mouth or I'll shut it for him.
Oh, you're good at that, Ziggy. I saw how you fixed Gerald.
All right, where's the rest of your squad?
Waiting. Your father, Frank, you'd better help him up.
Don, you do it.
All right, but...
Get him up.
Thane, how did you get here?
Aye, that's what I'd like to know. Ziggy, finish him and we'll get out now. The rest of the stuff doesn't matter. Now, look, if there's more of his kind outside, we need him and your old man. They're our tickets out of here.
Oh, you're right. Don, get down there, warn the men. Tell them to get that container closed up fast. Come straight back the moment they're ready.
Yes, Frank.
All right, Thane, stay like that while I check you over.
It's a waste of time.
He's clean.
And you're fouled up. £2 million fouled up. You should know better, Ziggy. Never go thieving with amateurs.
Amateurs? It's all worked out, Thane, or it did, till this old idiot arrived.
Frank.
You swore that you weren't followed, damn you.
Frank, if you don't do anything else, tell him Tracy wasn't in this.
Tracy?
she just gave me an idea. And a way of getting out from under you, dear father.
Ah, come on, never mind the family stuff. Now, look, Frank. Once we're clear, Thane and your old man are your worry, not mine. Know what I mean?
Like it was with Harry Derman. Eh? What kind of an operator kills his top technician before a job?
Derman got greedy.
But he also brought Ziggy to you, right?
Ah, well, we did a deal. But if you're trying to talk anybody into another one, Thane, forget it.
I'm curious. What's Don Blantyre's angle, Frank?
Money. He plays the tables and keeps losing.
So he covered up for you while you killed Harry Derman.
Derman wanted an extra payoff. He got it.
Because you were scared, Frank. Scared because when you wouldn't pay, Derman said he'd tell your father.
Shut up.
And you're scared of your father, aren't you, Frank?
Shut up!
Hey, there's your partner, Ziggy. A scared pea-green amateur.
Frank, look, son.
Shut up!
Frank, I'll tell you how we work at getting out of here. We take the container van and a truck. Thane in one and your old man in the other. And if we see as much as a beat cop ready to sneeze...
That's the spot, sir. Down the lane, then the small emergency side door.
Yes, right, Moss. We know the rest.
But watch the rubble inside.
Yeah, we'll cope.
Sir, I'll go in first. Give me a few seconds of a start.
Yes, all right. On you go.
Thanks.
Sergeant.
Sir.
Everybody ready?
Yes, sir.
Draw battens. Right. Follow me. Quietly.
All set, Frank. No sign of anyone outside. The container's closed.
Ready to go? All right, Ziggy?
Aye. Now get your old man on his feet. You, Thane, help him.
If that's what you want. Easy, Gerald.
Thanks. Thane, I'm sorry.
Get up.
Leave him. Moss.
What the hell?
No, Fraser, don't. I don't like guns, but I can use them.
Take him, Ziggy. Take him.
Damn you, yes.
Thane, are you there? Thane.
It's finished up here, too, sir.
I heard shots. Are you all right, Moss?
Fine. I'm fine.
Well, who's this on the floor?
Ziggy Fraser.
Oh, the late Ziggy Fraser.
You'll want this back, sir.
The gun, oh, yeah, yes. Well, what happened?
Ziggy always did have cowboy notions. He fired first.
I see. Right. Sergeant McLeod.
Yes, sir.
Get these people down to the car.
Right, sir.
You too, Mr. Walsh.
Yes. Right, come on now. Move.
I'm sorry, Gerald.
Come on you go, laddie.
Don't push, and don't push.
I can do more than push now if you do not get on with you.
Well, that seems to be the lot, Thane.
I think so, sir.
Good. Can't help feeling a bit sorry for Walsh Sr. Still, he's got his daughter and the Blantyre woman.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Moss.
Sir.
I wouldn't let having to shoot Fraser worry you.
He did fire first, sir. I hadn't much choice.
Yes, quite. Oh, by the way, there was a message on the radio just before all this started. Francie Lang's off the danger list.
Oh, good.
Well, I feel better already.
Hospital says he should be back to work in about a month or so.
Community involvement. He liked that job.
Yeah, that's right. I'm off to telephone his wife and give her the good news. Good night.
Good night,
Good night, sir.
Hey, Colin. Who won?
Hmm?
The game, I mean.
I'm damned if I know, Phil. Let's find out.
That was Draw Battens, adapted for radio from his book by Bill Knox, with Paul Kermack as Chief Inspector Thane and Gerard Slevin as Inspector Moss. The part of Superintendent Ilford was played by Martin Cochrane. Dan Lawrence, Willie Joss, Sergeant Lang, Robert Docherty, Sergeant MacLeod, Charles Kearney, P.C. Beach, Michael Bruce. Davidson, Alex Norton, Frank Walsh, John Shedden, Gerald Walsh, Bryden Murdoch, Tracy Walsh, Virginia Stark. Ruth Blantyre, Mary Riggins, Don Blantyre, Ian Dewar, Rose, Jennifer Angus, and John Randolph, Arthur Boland. The play was produced by Gordon Emsley.